but we got smacked, but we got smacked, but we got smacked, but we got smacked, but we got smashed, bro.
3, 2, 1, go!
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. This is February the 13th, 2025. Post the Super Bowl, post the halftime spectacular showpiece or performance by Kendrick Lamar. Enjoyed that. Did not enjoy my team. I got my Kansas City hoodie on. I'm still in mourning. They did my boy wrong. They did him dirty. They beat him up all night long. He looked, oh man. Anyway, how y'all doing on tonight?
Man, I'm energized. I'm ready. Let's go. Doing good.
What's up, Kawan? Welcome to the show, bro. Hopefully you still here. K-Ball, what's up, man?
Man, I feel like I'm coming down with something, man. So hopefully I can, my throat's bothering me, so hopefully I can have a good time today. So definitely feel like I'm about to come down with something.
You know, I've been feeling like that every off and on few days, man. I got my teeth cleaned yesterday, man. That was an interesting experience. But yeah, it's been a minute since I did that. Boy, I felt violated. Like, Lord Jesus, how far back there y'all go? But your boy got all his teeth, all healthy, no cavity, just a little flat. So, hey, but what's good? What's good? What's good, man? So, K-Bub, you going to see Captain America?
That is going to be a part of our Valentine's Day event. We're seeing Captain America tomorrow, so yeah, I'll be there.
Is it just you and your wife? Is it the family?
Just me and the wife. On our little Valentine's Day thing, so we're gonna celebrate it at the movie theater together. So
y'all still blocking out a whole day of shows to ensure that y'all have privacy. What you doing?
Got 2 seats, bro. Got 2 seats,
got
bro.
2 seats. Okay, well.
Got 2 seats, bro.
I guess we can't come. We can't come up and enjoy. He not gonna shut out the theater.
You pay your money.
I'll pay my money.
Pay your money like everybody else.
I thought you was buying a whole theater so everybody could come. I'm like, yeah, man. What time we showing up? I want to bring my wife on up to Valentine's. I know Keith. He could bring somebody to Valentine's. What's going on?
You know, I don't do that either.
But yeah, you can bring them.
Oh man. Hey man, let's get this show on the road. Hey, man. No, I don't listen. First of all, if I'm going to express love, it's gonna be all year. I don't do Valentine's. All year. Y'all funny though.
Hey, just this one time, Keith, you can come on and we can all just meet up, take pictures, have us a good old time celebrating old Love Day. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Since K-Bum ain't gonna shut down the theater, invite your boy up. I guess I got to figure out now what I'm gonna do with my wife.
Man,
I got to figure out what we gonna do if we gonna do anything. But welcome to the show. We got to talk about State of Play. How many people got a chance to catch it?
Definitely did.
Okay.
I watched it.
Yeah, man, I did too. All right, watch me for a little bit. I'll say that.
I did have to go back. I had to go back.
We're gonna talk about these Switch 2 price leaks, man. Look at that as well as we're gonna look at this other situation. Was Nintendo right? Games over hardware performance. We'll talk about that. And K-Bum, we're gonna talk about what happened to PSN, sir. What happened to PSN? What was going on? Did they even tell us what happened?
From my current knowledge, I don't remember them giving full details of the incident.
Okay, well, I guess you're going to give us your speculations on what took place because I haven't seen anything either that stated what had happened. So we're going to talk about all that on tonight. Anything else? What y'all think about the Super Bowl? Did you think? What you think? How did you feel? Was it good, bad, what?
I didn't really get a chance to watch it like that, man, because we had skate practice. So,
okay.
And then the performance was happening while we were there, so I ended up having to watch that on replay.
Okay.
But the brisket was good.
I wouldn't mind having some brisket. K-Bun, what you think about the game, bro?
Yeah, I went to my friend's house, who's a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. I mean, huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. You know him.
Yeah.
And I went to his house wearing my Eagles jersey. So, yeah, he was not happy to see. Well, he already knew something was up because the last time the Eagles and Chiefs played, I wore my Randall Cunningham jersey. And so this time I showed up in the house with my zipper all the way to the top, and he knew something was going on. but I had to wear my new Brian Dawkins jersey that I just bought, wearing my number 20, which is those don't know, that was the inspiration for me to wear 20 in college, was Brian Dawkins. And so I had to show love. So that's I showed up in the house of the Chiefs with an Eagle jersey on, and I tried to get his kids to chant "Go Eagles." So that was pretty fun.
Now, didn't he lose a bet and had to put on an Eagles jersey?
Yes, okay. He did. He had to put it. It was a medium he had on.
Yeah, I saw it was medium tight. Yeah, you right on that. Yeah, man, we was all up at the church, man, watching it, and yeah, I got. I was the butt of the jokes on that night because last year, they came back and took that game. There was a few of the youth was up there talking stuff to me, and then when they came back, I got to gloat. I didn't get to gloat at all this year. They beat the stuffings out of Patrick Mahomes. That brother was getting stuffed. He was getting sacked. He was getting, man, I'm like, God, but what game plan, Andy Reid, did you come with? Because it's not working. I mean, just a four-man front.
It wasn't that. It was the fact that those players were better than the Chiefs player. That's simple. It's simple. It wasn't a game plan. It wasn't that they didn't come out. The four players on that front line was better than the five players that the Chiefs had.
That's what I literally said. That four-man front was a problem.
It was a big problem.
Man, so now it was some movement on the offensive line of the Kansas City that they lost. I think they lost their outside.
No excuses.
Yeah, it's a little excuse. But they got whooped. They got whooped. They got whooped. They got demolished. But Kendrick, I was really there for that. I was really there for the Kendrick halftime show, and that brother delivered. That brother delivered. I don't care what nobody say.
Well, if you listen to rap, you enjoyed it. But if you have not listened to rap in the last 5 years, you had absolutely no idea what was going on.
I don't care the story, and that could go. If you don't listen to nothing, half the people up there, people don't be knowing it.
No, I disagree a little bit because my issue with Kendrick is that he didn't pull from. Like, he didn't really have anybody else except for SZA. Usually, when Coldplay did theirs, not a lot of people knew Coldplay. And so they brought on, They brought on Beyonce and Bruno Mars, and even Rihanna did hers. But Usher did his. He brought on some other people. So, if you didn't like one genre, they kind of bring some other people to kind of, speak to some of the other people that don't really listen to exactly your music. And I think that's my only critique of that. That was kind of lacking. That was lacking.
I'm going to push back on that. I disagree. I agree that you're right. You're not wrong in nothing you're saying. But I disagree in the sense of what he was going for and what he showed is we have never seen anything remotely close to that done at the Super Bowl. No support, no help, no backup tracks. He rapped all that.
No, he did everything live. He did everything live.
And I rap. I rap. I do this.
Yeah, he did live. It's hard. The dance and rap.
dance, rap, the choreograph, the messaging, the whole nine.
Absolutely.
We have never, ever, if I pull from Jericho, WWE, seen anything that we saw in that performance. And it would go down and be watched and viewed and studied and critiqued we have never even went back to watch a Super Bowl halftime. Maybe Snoop. Maybe Snoop.
Don't say
Snoop
never.
and Drake.
I watched
Snoop
Purple Rain in the Rain several times.
Okay, Purple Rain.
And I watched Michael Jackson several times.
But I guarantee you, no one halftime show has been more analyzed and rewatched than this one that took place this year. Guaranteed.
They do have reports and say that this is the most watched one.
This is the most watched. I'm talking about it's going to be rewatched and rewatched. And
I know it definitely spoke to a certain type of people, and I think it was really isolated in the people that it spoke to. It was not a wide range of. Some people had absolutely zero. No, this is an honest critique. I'm not hating on the. I'm not hating on performance. The honest critique is that it was even people who know rap. If you haven't listened to rap in the last 5 years, you still didn't know what was going on, and that's honest because all these artists and even the stuff he's saying was all last 5 years. Even SZA.
That's not.
So if you haven't listened to it, if you haven't listened to it, you had no idea what was going on.
I'm not saying from that angle you are correct. I give you that angle. I'm not arguing against nothing you saying. As far as the angle you coming from, what I'm saying is. Not to make this ain't the podcast, but what he did and what he was going for broke and beat even Michael Jackson's. And it was, and like I'm saying, it's going to stand the test of time in the way none of those other Super Bowl performances will. It's going to stand a test of time. It's already, man.
I don't know if I agree with that, but that's for a different place, different time.
Okay,
I'm gonna jump in there. I just want to say that it was cool. I understand the message. I understand what he was trying to do, or no, what he did, what he accomplished. However, man, I would have loved to hear some Good Kid, Mad City sprinkled in there. Yeah, I would have loved to hear some To Pimp a Butterfly. I would have loved to hear some of that sprinkled in there too.
Right, but I'm respecting what he did because he knew what y'all wanted and what was be the typical go and do your hits at the Super Bowl and like Samuel saying, do what they want to do. He didn't do it. He did exactly. He put hip hop on the front street and he forced hip hop to be center stage, like what it really is, the culture of it. He brought it to the Super Bowl and did it in a way I don't think anyone else at this time could even do what he did. And that's what makes it so. I don't think you really appreciating what Kendrick did because he didn't do what you expected.
No, it's not enjoyable for the masses. It's good at what he did, but it's not enjoyable for the masses. Now, if you take a look at what Dre, you had everyone from all different likes and colors and Creed.
About that. They complained about
Creed
that
dancing and singing to what he did because it was somebody for somebody.
They complained about that too, K-Bun. They complained it was too black. It was too.
I understand, but they were dancing to that. I guarantee. I know they were because they know those songs.
But okay, well, Kendrick's halftime show already beat that. So
ain't worried about it being too black. Make it blacker. But he said you picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
It ain't even fully. I don't even think it fully sunk in the magnitude of this. What was done on Sunday? It ain't sunk in yet. It's too fresh. I feel some can see it, but I don't think the longevity of what took place. Not everybody is appreciated because it's still too close or too fresh. Give it some time and watch how this becomes studied and viewed in the way it's going to take on a whole different life. It already has. But anyway, that's not what y'all are here for. We here to talk about these games. So we broke the ice. Let's get into what you've been gaming on. Let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is. It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right, so who going first? Who taking the
I go
floor?
first.
Go ahead, Keith.
I'll go first. Yes, sir. So I'm still playing that Spider-Man 2. I was actually just playing a little bit of it before I got on the podcast. Man, it's a lot of walking around and being Peter Parker. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it's cool, but it's a lot of that going on right now, where I'm at anyways.
Yeah, it's gonna change a little bit.
Okay, good.
That
Also-
was boring to me as well.
Okay. I mean, it's cool, the graphics, and then just knowing that he's a regular
it's
person.
boring. It's
But
boring to walk around.
I'm playing a video game. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if y'all picked up on this, but like when you go back and you listen to Miles Morales, the intro music, man, that music is crazy. And then you get to this game and it's back to that. And I'm like, man, bring the hip hop, drums, and bass back. Okay. Trying to be too black like Kendrick. My bad. I'm gonna settle down. I did get a chance to semi or barely play the Monster Hunter beta. So they had a beta over this weekend, and I think they're supposed to have another one. Maybe I don't know.
The PSN was down. A lot of people on PlayStation couldn't play it.
Well, over here on the PC, I ended up making my character. I played like a few minutes and then we had to go. I didn't get a chance to really play, but graphically, it looks just as good as what they showed in motion. And the character creation was like really highly detailed, so that was pretty cool. And I'm trying to see, did I play anything else? I want to say that's it.
Okay.
Oh, I did play a little bit of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but not much.
All right, what's up? That's what's up. K-Bomb, floor is yours.
So I guess we had the podcast on Thursday. So Friday I had a really long day at work, and I didn't get off work and usually Fridays I get off early. I'm off like 12, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, but I worked all the way to 5 o'clock. I got offline from work, and I'm like, man, I'm ready to beat some people up with Thor. I need to take out some of this aggression and beat the brakes off some people in Thor. And I went to turn on my PlayStation, and I got a nothing. And I'm like, what is going? I said, did I beat too bad that I got I got banned? What's going on here? And I look up, and lo and behold, the PSN is down. So all the games that I want to play, 2K, Marvel Rivals, even if I wanted to play Overwatch, couldn't do it. And so I said, oh Lord, let me play The Last of Us 2? ? So I spent a good amount of time. Well, actually I went upstairs and hung out with the wife. But after that, came back down and did play some Last of Us 2. Moving along in that storyline, I'm at the part where you're kind of taking the role of Abby, and you're kind of playing through her story, which I'd rather say I don't really care. I'm gonna keep playing. I do need to finish it, especially before season 2 comes out. But I don't really care about her side of the story, and I don't know. I don't know. I believe it will. I understand that, but I'm just saying that initial grab that Naughty Dog usually have, I don't have it right now.
Do you think the fact that she did what she did turned you off to her character for right now?
No, I just don't think I cared to switch characters because I was just enjoying Ellie's journey.
Got you.
I was enjoying Ellie so much that I wanted to finish it. I didn't want to switch. Like everything I was going with her I was locked in. I'm like, man, this is like I'm locked in, and all her rage and everything that she has going on. And then you just switch me, and then you give me this happy and lollipops, and now everyone look at all these people doing, and I'm like, whoa, what?
You kind of still.
What was my rage?
You still in the little campgrounds where they
I moved. I finally moved out.
You out of that?
I'm
Okay.
finally moved out of the campground, and I'm going on doing her little side thing. So when she's out for her.
You haven't really got into her story then good yet, right?
No. I'm still no. But no. It's getting. I'm into it. So I'm into. I'm learning more and understanding. I find out that you were dating old guy, blah blah blah, and an aquarium. So I'm working through it, but it's still a lot to go.
Okay. Yeah,
It's a lot to go.
I admit her story. If I'm trying to refresh my memory, Abby's story can drag at the top, but once you get into, I'll say about another hour. I know that don't sound great. For you, probably another hour or two. It's her story gonna open up. I think you gonna get right back to how you felt like when you was playing Ellie. So
Yeah, I found myself really enjoying Abby's story.
yeah, it's really good, and it really plays. And that's something we really haven't got a chance to talk about because only me and Keith have played through, and you hadn't. It really makes you wrestle with your emotions towards the character, and the fact that you don't supposed to like her, and I'm pretty sure at this time, like you said, you don't care. But I'm gonna say for me at the time, I didn't want to play her because I didn't like her because she did what she did, and but before it's all said and done, you're really gonna question yourself on. Wait a minute. I don't know how to feel now because there's gonna be so many revelations that gonna make you question everything you thought you understood. So just keep playing through.
I agree with that. I believe that. I already see seeds of that now. But I also mentioned this a while ago that Naughty Dog didn't make this a fun game.
No, they did not.
When I say they're making a fun game, I'm not talking about the combat system. I'm talking about the morality choices, where I have to hear someone talk about especially when you're playing Ellie, someone talk about going on a date with someone after this, and you have to slice their throat. Or when you kill someone, their people, their homies, call them out by name. Oh my God, you killed Johnny. I'm like, oh dang it, he had a name. So they don't make it. You don't have that mindless fun that you have when you're killing stuff in Call of Duty.
It's an emotional.
Right?
It makes you feel. It makes you question. It makes your morality. It brings your morality into question a whole lot.
Yeah, it does.
It is tough. It was a tough playthrough, especially if you come from I think all three of our backgrounds, how we look at life. Yeah, it was a challenging game to get through. I'm not gonna front on that. It was challenging, but
yeah.
Because a few of them kills just didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right, but it's I'm getting through it. But I don't know, man. My nerves for this game just ain't it. I can't play in long spurt because it get to bother me. I'm like, I gotta play something that feel refreshing because this gets me down still, and that's why I didn't play it during COVID. But anyway, I'm trying. Let me get back. Let me end this so we can get back to Euro, so we can get the topics. So I played that. So finally. The PSN came back up on Saturday. Keith. I'll tell you this, Keith. I got so bad because the PSN was down. Guess what I did, Keith?
Wait a minute, it came back up on Saturday?
Let me tell you what I was doing. No, I'm playing no Switch.
He's playing online Switch. I got on Mario.
I wasn't that bad. No, but I turned on my I was downloading Marvel Rivals on Steam.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play, huh?
It's a drug.
How are you gonna play it?
He had to get to that crack. Look, I was like, I got the itch. I got to download.
I downloaded it and the only reason I didn't play it on Steam is because the PSN came up before the game finished the download.
That boy said, "Oh Lord."
Yeah, that was one of them. John Shaw moments that dope was he had to get that hit, man.
It wasn't that bad. What it was my wife's brother was over here, and he plays Marvel Rivals, and he's an amateur. Okay. And I was trying to give him some pointers, but since the game wasn't on, I couldn't give him pointers because the game wasn't on. So I was going to download it on Steam so I can kind of show him what I mean with the pointers. So that's what it was. That's what I was trying to do. It wasn't because I had to play it.
Keith, you tell us anything. Tell us whatever you want to tell us, K-Bun. We believe you.
Yeah.
But anyway, shout out to Kawan. You wasn't here when we sent you shots out. Shout out to you, bro. Shouts out to Nia and Chariot Man. Welcome to the show. Now how many days was PSN down?
Nah, it was down from 5 p.m. on Friday to about 1 to 2 p.m. on Saturday, something like that.
Okay.
So it wasn't a full 24 hours.
Okay. Are they bringing me my food? Thank you. All right, bye-bye. See you later. You're not on the Live and Level Gamers podcast, just me. Thank you. Okay, that was my daughter. I just told her she had to go. She's not invited.
You are not qualified.
So I didn't get much gaming in. I got a little Ninja Gaiden Black 2 in, and that was pretty much it. I think I'm on stage 5 at this point. Like I said the last time, man, I was kind of telling y'all. I think I put it up in the chat, man. These cameras are trash. Like,
I told you,
man. I'm enjoying it, but God, man, I'm like, can y'all do something about these cameras? But other than that, that's all I played. I didn't get much in. Had too many other things going my way. With other things that I do. So, but that's all the gaming I got in. I looked at my PlayStation 5. I did take the Switch upstairs, but my daughters played that, so I don't feel like I can say I played the Switch. But yeah, that's what I've been gaming on. So, K-Bun, did you feel when PSN down? Did you feel like when you leave your phone at home when you go to work? Did you feel naked? Did you feel like something was wrong in life? If you're talking, your mic is muted.
Sorry, man. Discord just locked on me. And I couldn't unmute. I apologize. For that. No. It was just frustrating, bro. Because I had a long day of work, man, and so I was just more frustrated than anything. Because I was ready to relax and wind down, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So it was just upsetting for me.
When you told me, I was like, I didn't even know. It wasn't even. I was like, man, I don't play online enough that it really even affected my world. I was like, I bet K-Bun was up the creek because everything he want to do is on PSN. But anyway, so as y'all know, I'm about to go warm my food up. My food is not hot, wife. It's kind of cold, so I got to warm this up. But as y'all know, I didn't know about this, but I think who sent this to me? Keith, was it you? Kind of shared State of Play?
No, I think you sent it.
Did I?
That was actually
No,
me.
that was K1. That's K1. That was K1.
I don't think I
But
sent
it's
it.
all good.
Well, I mean, I didn't K-Bum. I didn't take credit. I knew I didn't send it. I didn't know nothing about it. So, but anyway, we had a State of Play kind of dropped. Shadow dropped out of nowhere. I don't know if Sony announced this or not. I didn't have no clue about it. And they showed a few things. They showed Shinobi and they showed Sonic Racing. They showed some new titles. What else? Digimon, Last Soul. Like, they had a lot of stuff here. The question is, because we want to give about 30 minutes to this topic, so that we don't want to stay here too long. Do y'all want to just go through the whole thing? Because it's not time stamped on the one I'm looking at. Let me see if I can find one that's actually time stamped. Do we want to go through the whole thing? How do we want to approach it?
Yeah. Well, no. I let K-Bun. This is the PlayStation Play, so.
How you want to approach it, K?
You want to treat it like we treat the Nintendo things? He probably locked
Yeah,
up.
let's just walk through it. Don't change this. Let's walk through it.
Okay, so let me turn it down. Fair use. I don't know how they gonna treat us, but as you know, they had a State of Play this week, and It was about 46 minutes. And I'm just going to say off rip. Were there some interesting games here? Yes. But this was one of the most uninspiring showcases I've seen from Sony. And while I enjoyed some of the stuff I saw, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say not much of it stood out to me. So I'm going to have to follow you guys on which ones y'all want to talk about. Of course, right now you're seeing Monster Hunter Wild, Capcom, which looks, graphically, this game looks amazing to me.
This game's gonna be good. So
Yeah.
let's not get it twisted. This game is gonna be good. It's not a PlayStation exclusive, but this
Right.
game is gonna be good. It's a decent something to open up. It comes out in was that a couple of months? Keith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Monster Hunter Wild. So it's gonna be great. So we're cool. We can move past this.
Okay.
This
So
isn't. It's not anything new, anything like that.
So the next one was Shinobi. And
Yes, we need to show this one.
okay. Yeah, this looks good. Now, so go ahead, K-Bone. You take the floor. I'm gonna run up here and throw this in the microwave. You got it.
But my thing is, I have a little bit of memory back in the day playing Shinobi. Back on the Nintendo, we all played Shinobi, not all, but played Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden, and stuff like that. And so, but I've never really been a fan of the 2D side-scrolling game. That was until I played Prince of Persia. And since Prince of Persia, I've been trying to find out, do I actually like side-scrolling action-adventure games, or was it just the combat system with Prince of Persia? Because we also played the African one too, and it was okay. But this looks really good. Really good. I absolutely want to play this game, and I was looking at the release date, and so I'm all on board. I think this was a pleasant surprise. I think it looks the part. I think they've.
You haven't seen this before? You had never seen the Shinobi title?
This is the first time they showed it.
No, they didn't. We've seen this before.
No, this is new.
This is the first time they showed this.
This is
No,
new.
it's no, guys, no.
It was announced. They never showed how much game. Like they had a little sizzle reel. Sega had a sizzle reel.
Yeah.
And they showed a little bit, but they never showed us this much detail before.
Okay,
not this
okay.
much
I was going to say, I thought y'all was saying that we have never seen something like. I remember this particular scene where in the background, the big thing that was running behind. I remember some of the anime of the game, so we already knew what it kind of looked like. But yeah, you're right. They showed more of it. But yeah, I thought we have seen it because we said it was dope then. So
Yeah.
This
is fire. This is so fire. I started to look up. I saw this come down in August. I'm like, well, what other side-scrolling games should I look into while I wait for this to come out in August? That's how good this game looked. It looked so good that it made me try to find other games to play until this comes out.
what's dope about it is you got another 2D Ninja Gaiden coming out too. So it's like they're gonna be competing against each other this year, like back in the day,
like they used to.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope. Alan Steve, welcome to the show. Yeah, that one it did look dope though. No, you're not joking on that. It looked cool, very artistic. I'm questioning, does it look as appealing as the Ninja Gaiden one we saw, the 2D side scroller of Ninja Gaiden? But I gotta go Ninja Gaiden. I gotta go look at it again. But from what we see here and what they showed, it did look dope. Any other thoughts on that, Keith?
Yeah, the action really made me remind me of Prince of Persia. So to me, it was two things that Prince of Persia had. They had being stylistic, stylized. Stylistic was a singing group back in the day. It was stylized, and the combat system. Both of those things hit on me, and that made me want to take a look at this. But go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, man. You know what I like about this is that these 2D games are coming back, and they're fantastic. And me and K-Bum have difference of opinion. I think this game was good, but I wasn't wild. I wasn't wild about it.
Not no platforming for you, buddy.
No, the fact that it's a Shinobi game, I get it, but I wasn't wild about the art style. Like it was just something about like when I think about the old Shinobi games, it was something about it. This I don't know. I guess when you look at a game like Ori, even though Ori is not like an action combat game like this, but Ori impresses me. What do you think about Ori? I just want to see on the spot.
Graphic wise, it looks good graphic wise, but the combat doesn't look the combat doesn't appeal to me with Ori. The look of it is nice, but the combat doesn't make me want to play it. It's funny because I was actually talking to ChatGPT on other games. Yeah, I was trying to expand my knowledge of other games out there that's like Prince of Persia, and one of the main ones they called out was Ori. And I'm like, maybe I need to give it a try, see if I like it. But to me, it's the combat system that makes me want to play these sort of games. Has nothing to do with exploration. Has nothing to do with platforming. It is purely the combat.
Oh man, when you beef up your Ori or whatever that thing is called, he's a beast. But I do want to give this game a try, Shinobi. I do want to give it a try. It does look fun. It was one of the games that impressed me with that sizzle reel that Sega had released. So it's definitely on my radar because I love the side scrolling games. So, and I never was capable of beating a Shinobi or Ninja Gaiden game back in the day. Just didn't have the patience. So it would be cool to actually beat one. So
okay, let me ask you this: what do you think this should cost? What should this cost? K-Bum, I'm throwing it at you first. Should this cost $69.99?
They can squeeze $49 out of this.
So this is because that's what I'm thinking. This is $39.49 somewhere in there.
I want to say 39, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say they can squeeze 49 out of it. If it's 69, then yeah, this definitely ain't getting bought.
Keith, what you thought? Is this a 69 or this is 49?
I will go between 39 and 49, but it also depends on how long and how much content they plan on giving us.
Okay. So, like I said, it does look good. Everything you said, K-Bum. It's dope to see you embracing the side-scroller platformer, even though, you're getting that ninja and the sword fighting action that you want, but it's still a platformer, bro. So it is nice to see you finding some love for the platform.
It's an action side scroller.
He said, "Get it right."
With light platforming elements.
It ain't no light.
I'm telling you, the most boring part of playing Prince of Persia was the platform.
Don't matter.
Boring to me. I'm telling you, I hate it.
You willing to play it to enjoy?
You said you enjoyed Prince of Persia. I enjoyed it. I did. Overall, I enjoyed the game. I had a blast. Platforming piece. No. Actually, I'm lying. Sorry. The worst thing was not the platforming. I'm lying. It was the exploration. That piece is boring. You can kick rocks.
Keith.
I don't care about all that.
Keith.
Just give me the next fight. Give me the next. I am Killmonger. Give me the nenext fight.
K-Bum enjoyed the platformer, bro. Let me put claps on that. Drop bombs on him. K-Bum enjoyed the platform.
You've already gone through this.
All right. So Alan Steve said, "Hey now." He didn't say hey now. He said something else that I will not say. He said $30. $30. HELL no, $30. So anyway, the next thing that they showed was Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. And I'm not gonna front. When it first came out, this is the thing about Sonic Racing for me. It looks good and cheap at the same time. And that bothers me. It looks good, like it pops, but at the same time there's like a kind of a cheapness to it. But I'm like, is that my bias showing? But what do y'all think about Sonic Racing Cross Worlds?
I think it looks fun.
It did look fun.
I think I ain't gonna lie. The Sonic racing games actually are fun. I remember playing. I think it was Transform.
Yeah, I played Transform.
I really like that Transform game. And then I feel like they always trying something new and unique with the franchise. I know I want to say something about Mario Kart, but I'm just leave it at this and just say I think it's a good franchise to stand on its own.
Okay. I do like how they transform into all these different vehicles and different things like that. That's pretty dope. It looks wild though. I'm not gonna front. It looks wild. K-Ball, what's your thoughts?
I don't see myself. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keith.
No, I'm just gonna say one more thing. I don't like their tracks. Their tracks seem so confusing though sometimes.
See, I said cheap. That's what I meant by cheap.
That's what you meant? Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a cheapness. All right, K-Ball, come on, bro. What's your thoughts? We're trying to get through this.
I don't see myself playing this.
What?
If I'm a player, just like play Mario Kart. Why would I play this?
I mean, have you ever played Sonic Racing at all?
No,
Okay.
never.
Okay.
Never had any
my bad.
desire.
Okay, my bad, sir.
Any desire.
Don't beat up on me. I'm not Patrick Mahomes. Don't beat up on me with your 4-man front. All right, so the next one was something I think K-Bum used to play a lot of. No, this ain't Yu-Gi-Oh. This ain't Yu-Gi-Oh. This ain't Yu-Gi-Oh. Digimon story, Time Stranger.
Get that hate tone out of your
I said you didn't play it.
voice. No, that's after you done already spread these lies.
I said this ain't Yu-Gi-Oh. I thought I had it mistaken. You play Yu-Gi-Oh.
I proudly say I play Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know
I ain't never touched a Digimon. Kick rocks.
So do we want to talk about Digimon Time Stranger?
Let's keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Let me see Keith and what he want to do. Keith, do you want to talk about Digimon, bro? Thank you.
I do not want to talk about Digimon. I did enjoy the show, but no, I'm good. Nia, I'm sorry. I know you a Digimon fan.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she a Digimon fan.
Until I said kick rocks.
If she listening, yeah, that ain't it.
So
that ain't it.
Nah, this ain't for me.
So the next thing then, since we gonna skip Digimon, Time Strangers, we're gonna go over here to Lost Souls Aside. Lost Soul Aside. Who makes this? Let me see. This is by. Who makes this?
Don't know who makes this.
Yeah, I don't know. It says coming in
I'm
May,
over
though.
here.
Well, whoever makes it is coming in May. What do y'all think about it? Do we care?
Nia said Digimon was my stuff back in the day.
Do we care about Lost Souls?
So I'm gonna sound real bad, but this is par for the course for me, and everyone knows this.
Japanese.
This was way too Japanese for me. From the voice acting, from the visuals, I immediately said nope, and I kind of tuned out. So I don't know what this is even about. It just felt too Japanese.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you got it. You got it. Let me go ahead and take a bite out of my food. Go ahead and take it, Keith.
I ain't gonna lie. I like the art style. I like the aesthetics. I guess that same world. It was a lot. It really was a lot. I was like, because at my point in my life right now, I'm like, man, that's like an investment, and right now I'm not in the investment mode right now. That's why I had to stop playing Dragon Ball so much, because that's an investment. Yeah, this seemed like but the running on the stuff and sliding through the sky, man, all that looks cool.
It looks cool.
And I honestly thought it was like, okay, this might be some Final Fantasy or something. But I could see myself playing it, but not right now. Not right now.
Welcome to the show, Darkwing Dragon. I'm gonna say this. Visually, it was very impressive to me. But Keith, you said it perfect. I don't know if I want to invest in what it looked like it's going to require me to invest. But I'm not going to sit here and say that the game doesn't have appeal and pop. It pops,
right.
and I got to give it that.
Hi everyone.
Let me pause it because I don't want to. Because we just moving on. Do anything else on Lost Souls? Comment section, let us know. Do you think Lost Souls Aside looks great? Good? What you think? Let us know. Anything else from you guys on Lost Souls?
Nah, that's it for me.
Lost Soul, not Lost Souls, Lost Soul. So the next was Like a Dragon.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Okay.
Keep it. I don't know how many people play the Dave the Diver game. I don't know how many people play Like a Dragon. I know, I do. I believe D2K played the Yakuza games. I do believe that
He does.
he does. Yeah. So I know he would probably enjoy us talking about this. Well, probably he wouldn't enjoy us talking about this because we have nothing to say about it. Because I've never played a Yakuza game. I've never played never played Dave the Diver. So it's all a wash for me.
Keith.
Yakuza. I tried it when I had my Xbox Live. Xbox Live. Is it Xbox Live? No, Xbox Game Pass.
Game
I
Pass.
tried it and I wasn't. It wasn't for me. And the one I played was like turn-based RPG, and I was like, when did they do this? I think that was like
they
Yakuza
experimented.
Zero.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
experimented.
I do like those aesthetics, though. I will say that it kind of remind me of Shinobi, not Shinobi, Shimu.
So y'all didn't
Yeah.
like all the games within the game.
I don't got time for all that. I don't even play GTA because of all that. I don't do all that.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I don't even play GTA, so that kind of sums it up.
Okay, well, the next one was WWE 2025, 2K25. I'm gonna say this: I did buy WWE 2K23, and I think it was their first return after they had that debacle. And
Trash.
yeah, and it was good. But man, K-Bum, it was either you or Keith. One of y'all
It was me. It was me.
mentioned how you had to take a double take because you thought it was real footage. And I have to admit, it does look impressive. And I am a wrestling fan far as the games. I don't watch wrestling pretty much like on the live stuff they
Daily.
do. I don't watch
Weekly.
it. I might get into it around WrestleMania, depending on who the crew I'm around at that time. I don't even hang around the people that watch it like that anymore. But I might get this, bro. I might just get this. What y'all think?
Get this. Do not play this mode that they're showing.
No, definitely not.
So this mode ticks me off. The reason why this mode ticks me off is that this is their microtransaction, the way they're trying to make money. This is their microtransaction part of the WWE, and they're trying to force it into every game because it's a moneymaker. And sometimes it just doesn't make sense. It's like trying to turn every game into a live service game. They're trying to make every game this microtransaction trading card, create your own person, goes out into this, universe with other players, and it's don't play this mode. I hope they lose money on it because it's not meant for every game.
Okay. Keith.
I can't get down with the wrestling games no more, man. I just don't care. I don't watch wrestling no more. I will still be trying to play with all the legacy characters. I thought it was cool to see Paul Heyman just speaking at the showcase, but
I agree.
but I just don't care about the wrestling stuff no more.
Like I said, I got my eyes on this one. I enjoyed wrestling the game still. The problem
It may be good. It may be good.
Problem
It may
is
be
they
good. Just
have-
don't play this mode.
they have
Maybe
yet
I'll play
to
with the
live-
kids. I don't know.
They have yet to live up to the AKI mechanics of old. It's crazy that something that was built a decade and a half ago or 2 decades ago still outdoes modern wrestling games. Like they still can't match NWO versus WWE. I mean WCW, No Mercy, WCW I think it's WCW No Mercy. Oh no, it was WWE No Mercy. All them games that was made by, is it Aki or something like that? With that, they just don't match them old games that was made by that company. I think it was the same engine that Def Jam Vendetta used, and that's why it was so good. So if they can figure out how to get back to that, they close. but it's still lacking something. I'm gonna keep my eye on this because I do like wrestling games, playing wrestling games. I ain't gonna front. Let's continue. The next one was Borderlands 4. Thoughts?
Never played Borderlands before.
You didn't even watch the movie?
I did not watch the movie. That the one with Kevin Hart?
Yes.
Yeah,
No, did not watch that movie.
it's trash. Go ahead, Keith. K-Bomb.
So I did try to get into Borderlands, and believe it was Borderlands 3. I tried to get into, and I played it. I think for about, I'm gonna say 10 or 15 hours. I tried to get into it, and
Oh man.
I was bored, man. It was just boring. So I'm not looking forward to Borderlands 4. I may try it for free on like GameFly or something like that. But I'm not. It's not high on my list. It's always been kind of. It's the first person for me, right? It's the first person for me, and it just doesn't appeal to me. I try to play their offshoot game. I forgot what was the name of it. It was one that came out last year where it was like a RPG type of Dungeons and Dragon type of game. I forget the name of it. Some people in the comment may know what it was called. But I didn't like that either. I played the demo and it was just the same boring gameplay that Borderlands is. So it's not my cup of tea.
Okay, yeah. I don't have nothing to say.
And I agree with that, Nia. But Borderlands is more fun with people. I do agree with that.
I would never know because I don't care for these type of games. So now, if y'all played it, I may give it a shot if it was for free. Anyway, so the next game, let's move on because it is some good games in here. Wait a minute, this is not right. This is out of sync. This game I'm interested in right here. What's the name of this game? It don't. And my list is out of place. But this game right here, I'm interested in right here. It's made by Hazelight. They made, I think, Take Two. Me and my daughter played through this game.
You talking about Split Fiction?
Split Fiction. This game, I might get this because me and my daughter played through It Takes Two, and we had a good time. And if it's made by the same people that made that game, I believe we'll have another good time with this game. So this is definitely one. We've seen it before, but this is definitely one that's definitely on my keep watch list. What y'all think? It looks good to me.
It looks like It Takes Two type of game. My wife doesn't play video games, so I couldn't get her to do it. And anyway, we'd have been like those people on Instagram where you're sitting there watching your wife die again and again, waiting for her to get to the point so you can continue playing. So I'd rather enjoy my video game than to be upset watching her die. So I probably won't play this game. But it looks cool. It does.
Understandable.
Yeah, I played with my daughter, and man, like I said, It Takes Two was good. I didn't think it would be that good. It has so many different elements of game genres in it that it never got old because every stage introduced a new form to play, like first-person shooters, racing, platforming, all that type of stuff was in the game. Teamwork. So I'm thinking if they do it like that, it may be good, man. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out on this.
And isn't that EA?
Yes, EA.
And EA does do different type of games. I do got to give the EA. EA does go out to other developers to expand their catalog because it's not always internal EA. EA recruits other people to make other type of games for them, so they're not looking like Sony with the same high graphics story type of game. They do try to expand their catalog, so I do give EA props for that because they don't make it in house. They kind of find people who do, but at least they do that to try to expand their catalog.
Okay. So the next title is, we kind of just running through these, was Directive 8020. Now, this was one of the first for real pause moments in the showcase that made me kind of grabbed my attention. So I'll let y'all talk. It's playing. So what y'all think about this one?
First of all, I was shocked to see the actors. I was like, I know that girl.
Yeah, the one from the Woman King, and she played
Yeah,
James Bond, and
She also played in Miss Marvel.
yeah, she was Miss
yeah,
Marvel's. The Captain, Miss Captain.
Captain
No,
Marvel. Captain Marvel.
no, it's Captain Marvel. Yes, just it was there. Yeah, she was the main person in it. Her friend, yeah, her best friend. That's what it was.
So when I initially saw this, I got Mass Effect vibes
That's what I
slash
thought it was. I thought it was
Dead
Mass Effect.
Space. It was like a combination between all that. So it's sci-fi, it's space. I got my eyes on it. Yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know, but it looks interesting. I'm not saying yeah, I gotta get that, but I do want to see more.
Okay. K-Bone.
Yeah, it gives that Callisto Protocol vibes,
That
right?
too.
Which
Yeah,
has the same vibes of Dead Space. But when I saw this, like this remind me of the games that we literally talked about that shouldn't be made, right? That's costing the studios all this money. These high graphic
that's true.
games spending all this high money on big time actors. So this is what I thought about when I saw this. And I'm like, but this is my type of game, which is a story driven type of game. But this is literally what we kind of have the discussion about. Um, so it was interesting. So I'll just throw that to the side. But no, it looks very interesting. I don't know if it's on my list because I downloaded Callisto Protocol, but still haven't played it. I'm afraid this may end up being like the same thing, but we'll see. It looks very interesting, and I think she's an excellent actress.
So, one, you are right. She was the multiverse Captain Marvel. That is true. Yeah, it looks interesting. Hold on, let me finish this food. It looks interesting to me. It gives me some Dead Space vibes too. And that's my hesitance. Because I can't handle Dead Space. I'm a punk. When it comes to games like that, my nerves just don't work. Resident Evil 4 is about as much as I can handle.
Man, that's how the clickers do me in the Last of Us, man. That
I don't know
crap
what it was.
annoying.
I got over the click. It's other things in that game that did me like that. I got over the clickers pretty quick.
Oh, that bothers me. I'm like, I can only play for 45 minutes. I'm done.
Yeah. So no, Dead Space was one of the few games that really humbled me to say, "Hey, you ain't built for it. Let's let it go. Let's let it go and be honest. You ain't built." And I said, "I ain't built for it." So that's what this
You said
game
sit
kind
down?
of gives me. Yeah, it's
Be
like
humble?
sit down. Yeah, sit down.
Sit down. Be humble.
So I'm kind of like, I want to, but I don't want to waste my money. But if it's something for the pod, for the cast, for our fan base, if y'all play it, I may give it a shot. But it looks good. It looks. I won't say it looks good. It looks interesting. It looks good. It very much has my interest. It was probably the standout of the presentation to me.
Oh, the high graphic, story driven, high paying actress
Yes, it was.
game made you wanna. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
I'm
Just hold
gonna
your
log that
horses.
for later.
Yeah, log it here. Type it in. So let's go. What was next? So I think next was
Let's
Five
keep.
Nights
Let's
at Freddy. Let's keep going.
we're not on that age bracket to play that game.
I just feel like that's gonna be them PC games. Anyway,
I'm not in that age bracket.
so the next one was the Midnight Walk.
We've seen this one.
They leaving out stuff, man, because we got Darwin's Paradox. That's not on my list. I'm like, why they leaving stuff out? So
that comes out the Midnight Walk, I believe. Yeah.
So we had Midnight Walk. Was it? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Midnight Walk.
Midnight Walk.
We've seen this one. We've seen this one
Yeah.
before.
Then Darwin's Paradox. They look cool, but I'm trying to just speed along.
I thought, surprisingly, Darwin's Paradox looked really cool.
What?
Yeah, I did. It has the same. You gotta help me out, Keith. You may know it. There's a game. I forget what the name of the game.
All right.
Where it's black and white, and you're kind of running from stuff. It's a side-scrolling type of
Limbo?
game. Limbo, yes, it has limbo vibes to it. So it's kind of like what the gameplay kind of looks like. And I thought it was interesting. It looked cool. You're trying to escape this facility. I thought it was cool. I gave it bonus point. I'm like, if it's cheap enough, I can see myself buying this game.
Hey, hold on, we got to go back for just a second. I'm over here editing a photo, so y'all got to excuse me. The Midnight Walk. Hey, when I watched that kind of gave me that vibe of that one game, Midnight, the Xbox game, the stop motion.
Yeah, it did.
I was like, are they trying to compete with that? Say we got one, even though that game probably gonna end up on PlayStation, but that's the vibe I got from. But yeah, that's all. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, Darkwing, man. I love Dead Space too. I just couldn't. I wasn't brave enough to go through it. It was a great game. I enjoyed everything about it. But what punked me out was the scary stuff. I couldn't do it. So anyway, we got a rogue. What is this? What is it called? Warriors Abyss. Rogue is taking on a rogue like. Skip it. Keep going.
This is Dynasty Warriors. I don't care what they try to say. Oh, it's roguelike. This is Dynasty Warriors. Stop it. We didn't want to play it for the last 15 versions of Dynasty Warriors. We don't want to play it now.
It's definitely Dynasty Warriors.
It's Dynasty Warriors.
Okay, so we'll keep it moving. Capcom comes back with Onimusha 2 and Onimusha Way of the Sword remake or remaster. Onimusha 2. What y'all thought? We seen this. We saw this at the
remaster,
right?
No, we didn't see the remaster.
No.
The remaster looks as stiff can be.
That's what I said. We saw some of this at the Segas.
Not the remaster.
No, you might be getting it confused with Ninja Gaiden.
We didn't see the remaster.
We didn't see this at.
No, they just talked about. They just.
They showed some of it. Just a little bit.
I don't remember that.
I do. They showed some of it.
Or maybe you think about the PlayStation. Not PlayStation. Excuse me. Capcom.
Capcom. They showed. Yeah. Capcom. Not Microsoft. I'm gonna say this, guys.
Yeah, this dude looks stiff.
This looks. I'm gonna miss you. The new one. Way of the Sword, I think it's called. Looks good to me, man. I'm sorry.
It does. It does.
I know K-Pump said he ain't an Onimusha. Man, this looks good to me, bro. K-Pump, I think you need to really look at this one. This put me in the mind. Not Ghost of Tsushima, but close. It looks good, man. Combat and everything looks good.
Yeah, this one looks a whole lot better than that remaster they're gonna put out.
That cardboard.
Yeah, this was the second standout.
I have little interest in this.
I'm shocked being an Onimusha and Yotai that you're not interested, man. It looks good.
I never play Onimusha. I watched my homie play because he was a big Onimusha fan. And I watched him play, and I'm like, I'm not a big fan. And this looks okay. It might be good.
Okay, but you cannot tell me this looks like the original ones.
No, it doesn't. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I don't care for Onimusha. And it might be good, but I'll be late to the game. I just know that if it's good, I'll be late to the game.
It looks good, man. Go ahead, Keith. This might be day one for me. I like this.
No, I think it looks good. I think it's definitely giving me. I don't know. It's a kind of a toss up between Ninja Gaiden and this one in the art style. I'm probably leaning more toward Ninja Gaiden because they got the platinum effect. But this does definitely look good. I've never played any of these Onimusha games. I did watch the Netflix show, but it looks good. I'll keep my eye on it. I like Capcom. I don't play a lot of their stuff, but I'll keep my eye on it.
Yeah, I'm definitely okay. So,
do they be using the same engine? Because like a lot of their aesthetics looks very similar across the board. Monster Hunter, this Resident Evil.
About Capcom, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're using the same engine. They got to be. So yeah, Way of the Sword is definitely on my list of potential purchases. It looks good to me. And now if it came between this and Yote, I'm getting Yote. But this is definitely on my list of potential purchases. So anyway, we get to the next game, and I know this K-Bum gonna get this one. And Keith too. Metal Gear Solid Delta. They showed a little bit more of this game. We've seen a lot of this game. We don't really have to stay on a lot. But what's your thoughts?
I'll let y'all go first.
I told you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I've never played this game at all. So for me, this will be a good time to try it out. Haven't been the biggest Metal Gear Solid fan. I played the first one and beat it. This looks fun. It looks cool. At first, it didn't look all that good to me, but the more and more of it I see it, I think I might want to give it a try. When does it come out? August 28th. August 28th. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know yet. It looks good, but again, I never really got into Metal Gear Solid.
It's a prequel, right?
Yeah, it's no.
Three is a prequel to the series.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, K-Bum. Your floor.
I may not come out of hiding until I beat this game.
And that's right. You are a fanatic. You're a Metal Gear fanatic.
I played this when I was in college, I believe, or high school. Going to high school and college, I played 3, and it blew my mind when I played it. It had stuff in this game that games had never even attempted to.
Well, you had to put the controller in the second input?
No, that was the first one.
No, that's the first one.
Okay, that's the first one. But this is where Kojima got his roots of being a amazing game developer. Was this? This was the intro music to this. I don't know if people ever played it. The intro music to this game is literally it is a James Bond mix. So it's like James Bond type, and it is a banger. It's a banger, bro. I remember just sitting listening to the intro music because it's a banger. But no, I'm gonna play every last second of this game. The memories this gives me by watching this and seeing how good the graphics looks. I'm so you don't gotta show me nothing else. I'm here for it.
Now let me ask you this, K-Bum, since you are a Metal Gear Solid Metal Gear fan, where did they get off at? Was it 4? Was 4 the
No, 4 was the Michael Jordan game winner before he walks off the stage. This is 5 is when he comes back for retirement.
Okay.
Because 4 was supposed to end the series.
And that's the one that got a lot of cutscenes. That's as long as
it had like a 30 minute cutscene. I remember beating 4. I was married. I was in my first apartment. I beat 4, and I got to the cutscenes, and I put my controller down and set my feet up so I can watch the videos because I was like, yes, bring it. This is what I'm here for.
Darkwing Dragon 709 said the storytelling is what brought the Metal Gear games down for me. K-Bum right about the musical score. So yeah. What else say? He said I like the Splinter Cell games better. Okay, all right. I played a lot of Splinter Cell. I never really got into Gears. I got into Gears of War, but not Metal Gear Solid. Let's continue. The next game is Hell Is Us. This game looks great.
We've seen this one too.
Yeah, we've seen it before. It looks great, but I don't think so.
Is it Resident Evil-ish that it feels? It feels familiar.
It feels like what's that game? Made by Konami. Paradise Eve or
No, that's Square.
What's the one that they scary game that Konami makes?
Silent Hill.
That's what it puts me in mind. Like Silent Hill and Alec Wake. And
It was better than Silent Hill.
it looks better. I'm talking about the. Let me just make sure I'm looking at the right game.
It sort of feels.
Yeah.
I think this one
Alan
also
Wake.
one that feels like what's that other game that Konami? I keep saying his name wrong.
Oh, you talking about the
you
mailbox
talking about,
game.
Death Stranding.
Death
Death
Stranding.
Stranding. Yeah, it kind of feels like it has that kind of feel to it too.
He said the mailbox man.
Nah, yeah, FedEx is a FedEx game.
Yeah. It looks
It
good
looks
though,
cool.
man.
It looks
It
cool.
does. It looks cool. That type of stuff right there, I'm like, but the action is action based, and that's what I'm like. I might be able to get into this because it is more of a seem like a hack slash type vibe. It's
True.
definitely. I'll keep an eye out for it. You may be Blade in a vampire like world here. It looks dope though. It looks definitely interesting. It kind of it's kind of misleading on what it actually is, because when you're looking at it, it put me in the mind of Watch Dogs for a second. It put me in mind of Days Gone. Then it looks like then it was kind of like Alan Wake, and then once it got to the gameplay, I'm like, that's totally a hack and slash. What is this? Now it's definitely something I'm gonna keep an eye out for. What y'all think visually?
It looks good.
No, that was real good.
I like the style. It's a very cool style. It's
Yeah.
not blowing you away with graphics, but the style is really nice.
Yeah. I need to see more gameplay. The gameplay will determine whether if it's slow and I'm like Dead Space and I'm a tank walking. No,
Or like this next game.
Okay. What's the next game? Liza P. Overture. You already played Liza P.
We both did. Did you try to, Keith?
I tried it
Yeah, we both tried it.
and I
played
put
the
it
demo.
back down.
I played.
Yeah,
the
I'm saying
demo.
we tried it. We played the demo, and we was like, "This is
No.
not it for me."
Okay, so let's skip. All right.
For people who like it, it's a great game because it's Souls like. It's a Souls game,
Yep.
but it is way too slow.
All right, we got to get going because we don't spend enough time. So the next game
problem.
is Dreams of Another. Do we care?
I don't.
All right, Days Gone remastered. Do we care?
I don't know why we have to remaster when this came out on the PS4.
Okay.
And
They're
then it's
trying to
coming
get
out on
money.
the PS4 again. But it's coming out on the PS4 again. I don't. Why did we need it? How are we remastering the game that's already on the PS4 on the PS4?
Because we got.
So it said okay, sorry. So it said those who have the game on the PS4, you can pay the PS5. So okay, sorry, I'm wrong. It's a PS5 version of it, but we just played it. We don't need
this.
this.
Was captured on the PS4 Pro. I knew it. This Ties of Annihilation looks cool. I'm not gonna front.
That story got me.
She looks
I'm
like
like,
old girl that played Black Widow. What's her name?
Scarlett Johansson.
She looked like that.
This story
Yeah.
got me. I was like, this is Japanese. But I'm like, okay, never mind. This is pretty cool. This looks cool. I thought this was
Yeah.
cool. That the graphics is dope. It looks cool.
We sleeping on Liza P. I didn't. Like
No.
I said, I only played a little bit of the demo, bro. I can't.
Played it. It's not like Dragon. It's not like something we didn't play and like we didn't try. We just throwing mud on it. We tried it. I played that game for hours, and I'm like, this
Yeah,
is
this
not
game,
it
this
for
one,
me.
this definitely stood out to me.
Yeah, this was dope.
This Ties of Annihilation.
It kind of reminds me of the Xbox game, the Expedition 33.
To me, and I'll say my thoughts about this showcase towards the end, and why I think it didn't do well.
Yeah, no problem.
It had some stuff here that to me was nice, but yeah, I save it for the end.
And
So-
you were asleep most of it. Stop lying.
No, I didn't. I started skimming through it. That's what I started doing. I literally started skimming through it. So
I did too.
this one definitely stood out to me. This definitely looks dope. I just like games that make me feel like I'm going into I'm escaping into a fantasy world I like this. I like stuff like this. I'm picking at y'all. I totally get it. I'm a Souls fan, so that's why I love it. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. A Souls fan can love that game. If you're not a Souls fan, it's kind of hard. Kind of hard to like it.
Facts.
Meadows, Eve, Eden. Look, okay.
I don't remember.
Soros. What is this?
Don't remember that game.
Now this one look cool too.
It looked cool, but I'd already zoned out at this point. Oh, so this
Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
This
Yeah,
one
this
looks
felt
dope
like
too. It felt like Quantum Break a little bit to me.
It
Mixed
was
with
Quantum
some Grand
Break.
Theft Auto and some other like
no, there's one from Ubisoft.
China,
one from Ubisoft.
the Chinatown or
Watch Dogs. That's what it was.
Watch Dogs.
Felt
Okay.
Watch Dogs. To me, it felt Watch Dogs. You're talking about Sleeping Dogs. I think you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm thinking Sleeping Dogs. It kind of put me in mind of that as well. But
Yeah.
Mind's
this
Eye
is
was
Watch Dogs.
wasn't it the Sony game?
Sleeping Dogs.
Or no, Mind's Eye.
That's what we're looking at right now.
That's what we're looking at right now. I don't know.
But I mean, was that like the Sony Studios game? I mean,
I don't
That
remember.
know. It's not telling me. I don't. The list I got up is not telling me.
I think this is the Sony
This looks
Studios
good
game.
though. This looks good, and
Oh.
it plays. And what's the X? What's X for? Anyway, and then we get this last game right here because we got to move on. We've been at this for a minute.
This game reminds me. What's that one? I don't play these games, but the dude going around the city and he just blowing stuff up, and he's like hang gliding, zip gliding, zip
I know what
lining.
you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
It's not Far Cry. It's not Far Cry.
No, it's not Far Cry.
He got a black suit on. He kind of like a.
I know.
Just Cause.
Just
Yeah,
Cause.
Just
Yep.
Cause.
Just Cause. Yep.
That's what that reminds me of.
This last game as well is it Soros? Soros.
Yes. Soros.
Visually, see, okay, so yes, visually does it look cool? Yes. Does it look like something I want to play? No. And that's my okay. So we got to move on. So anyway, y'all saw we went through it. So that was the showcase.
That's made by the same people who did Returnal.
Yeah, and I
Gotta
can
be,
tell.
gotta be.
You can see it. So okay, so that was the showcase that Sony showed. About 46 minutes and 40 seconds. Clearly had some games that were interesting. But my problem is, did we need all these games? And did you give them like the games that needed? To me, they should have. This is where I'm gonna have to tip my hat to Microsoft. I think why this didn't stand out to me is because how good Microsoft presentation was on their direct made this kind of underwhelming. I don't know if y'all feel that way, because to me, I would have picked about 5 of these games, like mine, unless they're not far enough along in development to where they can't do this. I would have picked Lost Souls aside. I would have picked mine. What is that? Mind's
Eye.
Mind's Eye. I would have picked Mind's Eye. I would have gave time to Ties of Annihilation, and
Maybe on the mission. Well, the mission part already got shown.
Hell is Us, and maybe since we already seen
Directive 80/20.
we didn't need to see Onimushu because we seen it at Capcom already. So we didn't need to see this at yours because
Didn't we see Monster Hunter?
We didn't need to see Monster Hunter because we seen that already. We didn't need to see Metal Gear Solid.
Agreed.
So it was bloated with stuff we have already seen. I would say Shinobi was good.
Shinobi was.
The Directive 80/20 was good.
Agreed.
Mind's Eye was good. Lost Soul Aside was good.
They actually have a special. They actually stated they have a special state of play for Borderlands 4.
Then they
coming
should
in
have showed it
here.
here.
Yeah.
This needed to be trimmed down and focus on some of these titles. Just focus in on those titles more, because I'm not gonna front. Microsoft presentation was immaculate to me, and how they gave each game an opportunity to breathe. You got a chance to see Ninja Gaiden 2 or Ninja Gaiden, is it 4? Yeah, 4. And they gave it a nice blowout. And then every other title that they showed, they gave it time to breathe and gave you time to really get what they're trying to do. I feel like Sony needed to do something like that with this. It just felt like it's some good stuff here, but it's so much other stuff piled on top of it. It's like putting too much barbecue sauce on the barbecue. It can hurt it just as well as help. It's good flavor. It's like, so it was underwhelming to me because it was too much bloatedness here that didn't need to be here. So I feel like other games kind of it was long in the tooth. It felt long, even though it was shorter, just as short. It wasn't even longer than Microsoft's, but it felt longer. I was just ready to get done with it. So that was my problem with it. I was ready to get done with it. Like, okay, come on, man. Wrap it up.
Well, I think it's hard to compare both, and I'm not trying to give Sony a pass or Xbox a pass. I think they were two different types of presentations.
You gonna give Sony these L's?
No. I'm just saying I think it were two different types of presentations. Like Microsoft told you, and we already know what that format is. That they stick to the guns and they show about 4 or 5 games and they let the developers go in depth on how they want to talk about those games. This wasn't that. This is more of a early E3 type videos, just showing you all different types of games and stuff like that, where there's no developers here. So there is no heart, there's no presentation and warmth that you get from the Xbox developer showcase.
That's why I'm saying they should adapt some of that to their state of play. I think this format, Nintendo, they kind of do it like Nintendo been doing it. Like
that's what I was about to get to. I'm gonna let you finish. I was just about to get there.
They do, but they don't do it. They don't do it as good as Nintendo does it.
You're saying it because you like Nintendo.
No,
I'm telling you, brother.
Let me finish.
I am bored out of my mind watching Nintendo.
There's no charm. Okay. Are there terrible directs? Absolutely. But it wasn't. The games were not bad here. It was literally the presentation itself that was kind of boring. At least Nintendo has a little life to it, a little spadass to it, and it could be terrible games that I don't want to see.
That ain't enough.
Maybe.
Because I was gonna jump in and say this. I think we have to say, and I know this is gonna be hard for some people. I think we have to say that Microsoft has come up with the best way to showcase games in these type of direct videos. That's actually what I wanted to say. I want to say that I think they do it better because I felt like you felt, Level. I felt like I enjoyed the Xbox way more, and I think, and the way I compare this is that this is a buffet. There's going to be things that you like on the buffet. There's going to be some things that you don't like, but you can just focus on the things you like. It's a buffet. Xbox gave you, and this last Xbox we can use that one as a instance, but that was a curated meal, a 3 what they call that a five entree dinner is what they gave you, a 4 entree. It was 4, and they handpick each entree so they complemented each other, right? And that's how I look at it. One is a buffet. One is a hand-picked selection of their best meats. Pause.
Man,
so
stop with this pause and stuff, bro. I refuse. Go ahead.
Okay, let me get to it. So I do, and I want to say this. I want to say this out loud. Like I said, I'm not trying to offend Nintendo. I'm not trying to offend Sony because I like Sony, but I do have to say I enjoy, especially when there's good games. Because the first time they did this, they had crappy games, and no one cared. And they spent all that time on Starfield. But when they have good games to show and games with meaning, the curated list of a small portion of games is better than this buffet style games that Sony and Nintendo do. The only redeeming quality that Sony and Nintendo has when they do this buffet of games is when they have games so big it makes you forget about all that bad food they gave you. Like when they showed Spider-Man, or when they show on them, and even Level missed that they even showed Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I
Or
missed
Ghost of
that.
Your
Yeah,
Face.
I
You,
cut
you
it
even
off.
missed it.
I
You
cut
was
it
so
off.
done with the buffet. Exactly.
I
You was
turned-
so done with
but
the
see,
buffet.
that's what I'm
all
trying to
that
say.
bad food.
That's
You were done.
This is what I'm trying to say. I
And
agree.
I'm in agreement. Like I said, I
I-
think they do it better than everyone else right now. I think what they've created, their format, their niche, I think that is better than everyone else.
I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna say overall. I'm gonna say the last one that they did was, because to me, the last one that Microsoft did was their best one because they actually had the games worthy of that format. Sony follows. Okay, Nintendo has 3 different types of directs. They have the one that kind of follows like State of Play. Then they have their big directs that kind of is a cross between what Microsoft is doing and what State of Play is. They had the one where you see the developers and they talk about it and they sit down. So I can't fully, I agree with you, depending on which type of direct you're getting. If it's just a partner showcase or an indie showcase or one of them quick, small directs, it's just like State of Play. But when they do their big directs, it's like a hybrid, no puns intended, between what Microsoft is doing and State of Play. Sony need to develop one that's similar to
But
that.
they do. That's what they're doing in with Borderlands.
Okay,
they're
cool,
going to have
cool.
when they sit down with developers. That's what they kind of stated, that they're going to have a special Borderlands State of Play where they kind of focus on Borderlands.
Okay.
And they've done it. They've done it with other games where, and I don't really have it on top of my head, but they focus on a smaller set of games and kind of go with the developers and kind of hear their story behind it. So they do have that. I just still think
Magic
Xbox
Jazz
does
is
it
crazy.
better.
Matty
Yeah,
Jazz
he's silly
says
for- he's silly
Sony's
for
State
that.
of Play was like a Pizza Hut that had barely any pizza, but the wings are good. I like that. Welcome to the show, Matty Jazz. That's how you come in, bro. You come in like that. But anyway, so let's give our grades, and then we'll move on to our next topic, which is the price leaks of the Switch 2. What's your grade, Mr. Norris?
I'm gonna give him a C minus, and I'm gonna give him a C minus because every Sony showcase, I'm always gonna hold him to that Sony exclusive game that we have been accustomed to seeing, and the fact that we haven't been seeing it is starting to annoy me. So I'm gonna have to give him a C minus.
Okay,
Good point.
I think that's a fair grade. K-Bomb.
I had it as a C. Is what I had. I couldn't justify a C plus. I couldn't justify a C minus. But now that Keith brought up that point that there's no Sony, I may be leaning towards a C minus. That's a really good point. Otherwise, I was just sticking to a C because it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was mid. So this is to me this is the definition of mid because it still has some interesting games that I've never seen. The Shinobi one definitely got me excited. Anytime I see Metal Gear Solid, I'm excited. So.
Okay, I'm kind of with Keith. I'm gonna say C minus. It definitely wasn't bad, but when I'm trying to rush through it, it had games here. It did. It really did. But it's like starting out with Monster Hunter just didn't work for me. I'm like, you literally like read the room, Sony. Capcom just had their own showcase a week prior. They already showed all this. So, and we already know it's coming to your system. We know it's coming to your system. We don't need to see Monster Hunter Wild. We don't need you to talk about it because it's already been talked about and it's already got PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro and everywhere else. So why you need to give your whole intro? I know it's a big game. I know it moves systems. I get it. But so I'm gonna say C- because a lot of this could have been cut. It should have started with Shinobi. That's where it should have started, and they could have cut out a lot of stuff in here. So I'm with Keith. It wasn't bad at all. It was just boring. So it's C- for me. It passed, but definitely not a D. They did better than a D. C- for me. So what's y'all grades? Nia said tough graders. Hey, no, it ain't tough. I think we're just being honest. What y'all give it? Well, I need to see y'all scores in the comment section as we go on to our next topic. So, something happened with this, of course y'all know Nintendo Switch 2 is soon to be up on us, and Costco may have leaked the actual price of the system. So we're going to talk about this real quick and get to our final topic. Nintendo 2 pricing possibly leaked by Costco employee. Here's how much it could cost. Ain't that a beautiful system, right? Anyway, let me keep going. At the moment, all things Nintendo Switch 2 are in a holding pattern. While Nintendo has made the console official, it hasn't spilled the beans. April the 2nd, 2025. It hasn't spilled the beans on details for the upcoming dockable handheld. Just say the hybrid system, sir. It's a hybrid. Leaving us to wonder what the company has up its sleeves regarding pricing and specs. A new leak from Family Boards might have revealed the console's price. Though it comes from a relatively sketchy source, a Costco employee in Canada, of all places. Canada? Y'all just ain't winning right now. Anyway, posted a placeholder price card that showed...
it's the new 51st state, so...
We not doing that. We not speaking nothing that idiot.
Oh, we ain't doing that?
Oh,
my bad.
No. You heard Elon's son said you are not the president. Told him to shut his bleeping mouth. In the Oval Office. Anyway, we are in a twilight zone right now. None of this can be real. The Costco employee in Canada posted a placeholder price card that shows the console price at CAD or Canada $499.99. Before you panic about that $500 price tag, remember that's Canadian dollars. But we don't know what these tariffs about. Anyway, you didn't add that. I'm adding in. Let me stop reading into what you're saying. After converting to USD, the number drops drastically to $348.59, which we know that ain't gonna be the number. That's cheaper than the early rumor Switch price of $399, though it's possible that we could still see the console launch at USD $399. In the U.S. and CAD $499 in Canada as price party between different regions can sometimes vary. So there you have it. I think is there more to this article? That's about it. So the leak is suggesting that the system is going to be kind of where we've been saying, somewhere between $350 and $400. I'm just going to go on out here and say this is going to be $400, if not more. It's definitely not coming under $400. That's my opinion. That's my take. I feel like that's a very, 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 very good guess. We're not getting this system we're not getting no $350 Switch 2. I don't see it, and I wouldn't be mad at it. I just don't see it. I think $399. I even go as far as say maybe $450. No, go ahead. Let's have it out. And I need y'all comments in the comment section. How much is this system going to be? How much is this system going to cost? This is all rumors. We don't know. This is a Costco employee. But I do not see nowhere near nothing $349. I see $400, $450, somewhere in there. Go ahead. Who want to take the floor?
I mean, what I want $350, $400. That's what I want. I still don't feel like we've seen enough for them to for me to justify what type of price is going to be. But that's what I would want to see. So this leak sounds like it's in the realm of what the reality is more than likely going to be. But again, we don't know what type of tech Nintendo actually has in those controllers, those Joy-Cons this time around. We don't really know how powerful it is. We can go by the rumors, but I think that's a fair price. I actually think it's a fair price even at $449.
Yeah, you hear me say nothing about no 500. It better not be no PlayStation prices. They better get out of here.
I feel you, but I don't know.
How much did the PlayStation cost at launch, K-Bun?
I believe at launch it was
Was it $399 or $499?
I think it was $499, but then I think the disc list was $450.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
So I'm seeing some. I'm bringing you in here, K-Bum. I see Kawan saying
Yeah,
$4.99.
yeah.
I see Matt Jazz saying $3.99. Nia said, "I don't know, man. Depends on the tariff." We're not looking at the tariffs, Nia. What do you think? Darkwind Dragon said $400. It has, for me, it has to be at least $100 split between the PlayStation 5 base model and this system. It got to be at least $100 difference. K-Bum, your floor. Go back upstairs.
I think so. To me, the quote of $350, which I don't believe $350. If they come in at $350, that would be absolutely amazing. But my thought is $399. But I just thought about something else. The Switch has never had a price drop.
Right.
So, is it because that they don't want that difference between the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 to be that drastic? Which leads me to believe it's $499. It just came to me because I was on a boat. Yeah, $399. I started thinking that the Switch has never had a price drop. The Switch OLED, right, is $349, right?
Yep.
The Switch OLED is $349. The new system is not coming at $350 if the Switch OLED is $349. That's not happening.
Right.
I don't see it coming at $399 if the Switch OLED is $349. I don't see that happening. I really see it, and this is right here, right now that this came to me. The Switch has never had a price drop, and one of the reasons could be they wanted to, because if the Switch was down to $250, $199, Switch 2 coming in at $499 would seem like a worlds of difference, and you would expect a worlds of difference.
Okay. I agree. I think you're onto something from a particular angle. I'm not going as far as you're going. I think you're right. They trying to keep the Switch because they should have been dropped the price of the Switch.
It should have been dropped.
So
let's be honest here.
It's selling and they know they can get away with it, so they're doing it. But to what you're saying, K-Bomb, I think you're right from this sense. Nintendo is not going to drop that price until they announce the price of the Switch 2, then they're going to drop the price of the Switch accordingly. So, I
don't see the Switch ever dropping.
No,
I was going to say, what if they never do it?
I don't see it ever dropping. There's no reason to. They're done buying it.
If they want to get to that 160 PlayStation 2 mark, they got to drop the price because that's how they're going to get.
Because at this point, you want people to buy the new one. You don't really care too much about the.
Yeah, but you are 150 now, so it ain't that many much. That ain't that many more that can sell. They have reached pretty much saturation. So if they wanted, they got to drop. They have gotten away with absolute anti-consumer practices here. I'm saying it. You just heard that come out my mouth.
Thank you, sir.
There is no reason under God's green earth that the Switch, OLED, OG, or Lite should be $350, $300, and $200 8 years in. The Switch should be $199. The Lite should be $99 or $150. And the OLED should be $250. But Nintendo, I think you're right though, K-Bum. Nintendo wants to have that price there so they can price that Switch 2 at, like I said, that's why I said either $399 or $449.
I was all on $399. Sorry. Go ahead, finish. Sorry.
And then they're going to adjust the Switch. So they're going to drop. I think everything will get dropped to 100. So I think everything on the Switch OGs, Switch OLED, and Lite is going to go down $100. But they're not going to do it until after they set that price of the Switch 2, and they using, like you said, they're using the Switch current price to be able to price that Switch 2 where they really want to price it. They got to. I don't see no 500. Because that's how much a PlayStation costs. They don't want them problems. They don't want them problems.
You don't want that problem, but you're putting a lot of tech in a really small device, and we're seeing the prices of the Steam Deck and Lenovo around $600.
Right. They don't want them problems, bro.
I agree. I am in agreement with you. But what I'm saying is it is difficult because this is what we know about Nintendo. We know that Nintendo always makes money on the console day one.
Wait a minute. And Dark Sun said, and I somewhat believe you tell the truth too. He said, man, ain't no 160 million PlayStation 2 sold. Them bums came up with PlayStation 2 out of nowhere after the Switch made 150. That is true. It was 155 for what, 20 years? And then as soon as that number got close to being reached, all of a sudden they found 5 million more.
No, they probably had it in their back pocket. Maybe they bought it themselves. I don't know. No, that's a good point. No, but what I'm saying is that I don't know, man, because Nintendo makes money on every system they sell. Always, day one. They make money, and $399. I'm with the technology they're putting in this system. To make the buck back, and even if it's $50, I originally, because I said in our chat that I thought $399 was the price point. I thought that's what they would be at. But just looking at the fact that the Switch hasn't dropped, and I feel they're creating this up because you have to get, and this is the same thing that the PlayStation Pro is having an issue with. If you're going to come in $200 more, you have to give justification for that $200. You have to. You have to justify that $200-$300 difference between your two systems. And I know the Switch is a very old device on a mobile system. But what they've currently showed us, just off the very small 10-second video, doesn't look like a $200 difference of the Switch. But like I said, it's a very small, and it is a very tiny segment of what a sample of what it's going to be. And I'm not saying that we all should base everything off of that 10 seconds. The only reason I'm saying is that so far, I don't believe we've got the justification for the $200. Same thing that the PlayStation Pro got beat on the head for, was not showing enough difference for that extra money that you're looking for. I fully expect Nintendo to give you that justification, but you have to do that.
Yeah,
and I'm really feeling $499, which is really high. But you look at the devices, you look at the Lenovo, you look at the Steam Deck, and they are $500. They are $600. And Nintendo don't make their money.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna throw this in there. NVIDIA's tech is significantly more expensive than AMD. I want to say, and Cherry Man, if you're listening, the ROG and all those other devices, the Lenovo, is that the same thing? I think the same thing. I think all of those devices are using AMD. I think the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2 are the only ones that's going to be using NVIDIA, I think. So you got to think about So I'm looking at it from a PC point of view.
That's a good point.
Right.
From a PC point of view, let's go. So I'm just going to use the new 50 series cards. So the 50 series, the highest end is the 5090, and I think it's coming in around $2,000 or $2,500, like real time.
Right.
And then after that, it just goes down from there. But I think the 5070 is coming in like $540. Right,
But it's
and
not,
we're talking
it's a
about
30. It's a 2030 series. It's a 20 or 30. Well, I think it's
you
30.
think that the Switch 2 is using a 20 series?
They said 30.
I don't know if they were gonna want to go back to 20 series.
No, I said
30 is
30.
probably
They
okay. I said 30 is probably the least one. But if you think about that, so what you'll be saying, I'm just using the 50 series as an example. So what you'll be saying is NVIDIA is okay with giving you, let's say, a 5060, right? Even though that's not haven't been announced, they're going to give you that for a low price of $399 in a Switch. They will be cannibalizing their own other devices. So it has to make sense according to what they've already put on the market, even though this is two different worlds. But
It's probably some custom GPU.
If you're right, Keith, if you're using 50 as your base, but if you're using the 30, like what's being projected for the card itself is 300. So you buying it
they
in
saying
bulk.
a 30 what? A 30 what?
RTX. Let me see. RTX. Let me go back. Is this the right one? I said 30 card series. How would you? I'm not the. I don't know how this works. Because it's saying 4060. I don't think that's right.
Well, 4060 right now, brand new, is $299, so that's $300.
Yeah, I said that's what I'm looking at. What is the 30? You look up the 30 series cards. If this is that,
it's also $300.
right? That's
I don't know
what I'm
how
saying. Okay, so if you buy that in bulk, and I look, I don't know this stuff, but I'm just theorizing. If you buy it in bulk, you ain't. We paid $300. Nintendo, because they buying so much bulk, may have for one chip card, one of those cards being customized for the Switch 2. They might be getting that for 150, 200, and then the rest of the tech in there is the other 200, 499. But they gonna make profits.
Don't forget that controller.
Gonna make profit, and the control. So I'm going to go out on a limb. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking $399, $440. Again, who said it down here? Matt Jazz said it would lose worldwide appeal if it's $499 because of the negativity. Now he said biased against Nintendo. I'm just gonna say negativity because Nintendo, that'll be un-Nintendo-like. Expensive is not Nintendo. Not for a long. Hasn't been there for a long time.
But $449 isn't really expensive in the world of handhelds right
It's
now.
not expensive in the world
Everybody
of
else.
handheld, but in Nintendo's world, it is expensive. And Nintendo know their fan base ain't gonna want to jump up to PlayStation 5 because then if you open up this window, K-Bomb, if you price it at the same price as the base PS5, then you are going to be compared to that platform. No matter even if it's not right, that's what they're gonna do.
Hybrid.
Right, it's a hybrid, but I'm paying. Nintendo is not going to get the benefit of the doubt that a Lenovo or a Rogue Ally or even a Steam Deck going to get. Nintendo is going to absolutely be compared because of the price. They're going to be compared graphically to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X because those are what those devices are priced at, and that's what you get from them devices. No, they can't do it. So I just don't see them doing it. But I ain't going to knock what you're saying. You make an interesting point. I think you're right that they're holding their price hostage to price because if they drop it, then you got the $299, $350 open now. You can make the Switch to $350. They don't want to do that. I think they want it to be $400 or more. So they're going to keep the OLED $350 to justify charging you $50 to $100 more. It probably that's what I'm saying. I don't think 449 is out the way. 499. Oh my God, that's too much.
I think,
That's too
yeah, I
much.
think 449 and 499 is a realm of possibility for the Switch 2. I think is not out of reality.
I didn't
for
say it
to
was
be
out of
that high.
reality. I just don't believe they can do it.
I
You're right.
the only
You
thing
fair.
that
You within fair.
I'm having trouble because the only thing because I didn't have this belief before we started talking. I was a $399 boat until we started talking because I know Nintendo is going to make money on the system. That is a
What is the cheapest graphic card
that's
compared to?
that's going to happen. So I don't know. I'm really seeing at the low end 449, and I see 499 as a realm of possibility.
What y'all think the Joy Cons are? How much you think they cost to make? The new ones
To make
Yeah, even though we don't know what's in them, but like just like if we just
Probably-
speculated 250
probably
graphics
40
card, 40
or
a piece
40, 30, probably for the set.
for the set.
Cause yeah, probably 30, maybe. They probably make double on it, back on it. Cause they're probably gonna charge 80, 89 for it, probably.
Right. Because the consumer definitely going to have to eat it. So even if you said the system costs 300 or 350, they're going to have to charge the consumer too. You know?
Yeah.
So you getting into that $400 realm, probably, more than likely.
I know
Yeah, you
it's
do.
400. I know it's 400. I'm questioning if it's gonna be 5. K-Bum saying 5. I'm like, I don't know.
That is where I'm
about
leaning. That is. I'm looking at the Rogue Ally 7, 512 with this Zen 1 processor, the lesser processor, and it comes in at $499. The higher processor comes in at $649. This is using AMD.
I'm with you. I just don't see it, man. But we will see. I'm not
We
knocking
will
your
see.
point. We will see. Any other thoughts on this? Hold on. I'm going to look up my order. He said I paid.
He was talking to Nia.
Okay, so Nia said 235. Nia, where my thing at?
No. She's talking about her
She's
graphics
talking
card.
about, she's talking
When I
graphics card.
slap
Yeah, they having a whole different conversation than what we talking.
I have a 350 and I paid 200 something for it. So I'm like I said, man, I don't think the bulk is going to change the cost of them cards. Nintendo probably realistically, if you trying to have 2 million Switch 2s out here, you bought the card that can get you the cores that can run the latest and bells and whistles at the lowest settings.
Yeah.
That graphics card for them may not even be 100. It may be like 70, 60 or 70 because they buying so many.
It's going to be custom. So
Yeah, it's going to be so. But no, okay, bro. Make
I
a
don't
long story
know.
short, you are not saying anything that's not within reason. You not saying something that is necessarily far-fetched. I don't believe they would do it, but it's not far-fetched. So I don't want you to think I'm like, ain't no way. No, I just don't. I just can't see Nintendo doing it. But
I feel you.
yeah. So anyway, so let's get to this last topic, and we'll end on this. So
We never did talk about the outage, but
I thought you did when you brought it up during your
no, I try to be brief. So I thought we come bring it up. But no, we're already running long, so we can end it
Okay.
here.
I thought when you brought it up then you had satisfied what you wanted to say about it, but
No,
My bad.
I'm
My bad.
angry, but we can table it.
okay. So Keith, you posted this, Keith. So this was a question that was on Switch Up Twitter account, and Keith kind of shared it with us and asked us our thoughts. And the question is, was Nintendo right all along to focus on games over hardware performance? And this generated an interesting conversation between us three in our chat. And in particular, I say me and K-Bum for the most part, because I think me and Keith were kind of in the same lane of thinking. We want to bring it to you guys and get y'all thoughts as well. Questioning, was Nintendo right to focus on their games as their driver versus hardware performance? And kind of what they're saying is, looking at what's going on today with, I guess, budgets, the cost of systems, like looking at a PlayStation 5 Pro, the very conversation we literally just had with the Nintendo Switch 2, what is it going to be priced? The hardware is getting to become a place of being, a little bit more expensive than we are typically used to. But it seemed like Sony and Microsoft may have rushed in a way or prioritized in a way that caused them to pave a path to where we currently are at a faster pace than Nintendo. And it seemed like Nintendo focused on their games, not necessarily the tech and the graphics, but the fun and what they do best, and put that as priority. And the question is being asked, was their focus better and right versus what Sony and Microsoft prioritized? So I open the floor for discussion. We're not going to agree, y'all. We have different opinions, just opinions. We're not finna rant and argue. We're just going to state our opinions about it, and that's it. So who want to go first?
I guess I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I've always felt like Nintendo was doing the right thing, even when the other consoles, Microsoft and Sony, were doing the high tech. And I guess is that the 6th gen or the 7th gen? I think it's 7th gen. With the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And I'm over there with my Wii, even though I later did get a 360 and a PS3. But I'm over there with my Wii. Graphics aren't as good, but there was a certain charm about the games. Thinking about Mario Galaxy and the Metroid Prime, the trilogy. And I was just like, man, I even though those consoles are coming out with better graphics and just being able to push the pixels and just doing amazing things, and I'm enjoying it, I still feel like Nintendo's on the right path. So by the time the Wii U came out, I felt like we were right where we needed to be, but the other consoles came out and pushed past that even, because the Wii U was still in the wheelhouse of the 360 and the PS3. Let's just call it a buck, right? But I think as far as like price, where we were with the tech, as far as like development, I think we were right where we needed to be, because one of the things that they've always touted was 1080p, 60 frames per second. I can't talk. 60 frames per second. And then they got pushed to the next generation. And then now all of a sudden we're pushing 4K, 60 frames per second. And now we're not now, but at that time we were barely getting 4K. And we had to get the pro consoles out, and it's like we keep chasing this marker and moving the goalposts, and we're never hitting it where we could just slow down. And I think using the Wii U as an example, the Wii U was a perfect point where 1080p, 60 frames per second was possible, and the price was manageable, and we were able to do those things. But it was this I guess you call it a rat race to try to get to the top of the technological board or pyramid or whatever, and it's like, for what? And all it did was just drove up the price. And then on top of that, K-Bone mentioned it earlier, adding these celebrities in the games to sell it. Like, I personally don't care who's in the game. If the game is good, and now that I think about it, I don't think Nintendo's ever used a celebrity. Mike Tyson. And that was when? Way way back in the NES days. I can't think of another time where they actually use a celebrity to sell a game. It just costs too much. It just doesn't benefit neither the consumer or the console maker. So yes, I think they're right in how they've done it. Yes, I am impressed with Sony and I'm impressed with Xbox, but I think Nintendo made the right choice when it comes to price and budgeting.
Okay, so K-Bomb, floor is yours. Your thoughts? Was Nintendo right? Yes, no.
Yeah, no problem. No, I'll state it the same way I stated in the chat. I think Nintendo was right for Nintendo. I think this was the best route for them to take, for them to see the success that they've seen. Was going this route and focus on gameplay in the games and not focusing on power. We kind of saw the Wii U, which tried to focus on power. It was going to be in the same realm with some of the others, and it for all the different reasons it failed. It failed. Right. It didn't succeed the way they wanted it to. Right. And the previous generation they focused on gameplay and uniqueness, and they wiped the floor with the competition, especially when the PlayStation suffered with the PS3 and their price and their push of graphics. They had a very hard time. So, and my statement is, I think Nintendo was right for the space that they wanted to play in. That to focus on delivering games instead of hardware performance. Uh, I personally don't believe that approach should be the same approach shared by everyone. I don't think there's a. I think PlayStation's biggest issue was the focus on the cell processor, and going all out with it and made it difficult for developers to make games for the PlayStation. But I don't think the push for more power is in itself a negative thing for the game makers. Because the biggest thing that they're doing when it comes to Xbox and Sony is that they are creating a space and a
So a
platform for
20-year-old
third
interview.
party to shine with their games. And to me, I think that's a good route to take as a game developer is creating a space so that developers
Now,
can
as you may know,
create the game they want, giving them enough RAM, giving them enough space, giving them enough uh, um, disk read speed, and especially with the SSDs, giving them access to in-game memory, cache, everything that comes with that, allowing new features like ray tracing and everything that comes with that. I think a console maker, I think it's kind of your duty to allow your box to be able to be utilized in that fashion. And I think, and my problem, I don't have an issue with Sony and Xbox pushing power. My issue comes when it comes to the power. My issue actually comes with the game developers. When and my gripe is actually I'll focus my gripe on actual Sony first party. I think Sony made a blunder on focusing on only these high-end graphic story-driven game that takes 200 million dollars minimum to make. And I think they put all their ducks in one row, all their eggs in one basket, and they paid for it as far as layoffs. They paid for as far as slower sales than the PS4, and they paid for it as a small, not pushing out the way they wanted, not making the same amount of money that they would have made. I think my onus isn't on the fact that they are giving these developers the space to create the games they want to create. I don't have a problem with that. I think that you're kind of you have your due diligence to do that. The reason being, there's a lot of third party support, third party games that run on these Xbox and PlayStation systems, and there are a lot of people who buy the PlayStation to play Call of Duty, GTA, and Madden, and that is it. It would be hard fetched to get them to play any other game other than that. And so for them, they don't really care too much as long as they can play the Maddens, the third party games that Sony is trying to cater to, because that is definitely some of the high selling games on their systems are third party games. They're not really first party. If you look on the other side, Nintendo, the top 50 games sold on Nintendo console, I believe you can find about 10 that are not first party Nintendo or published by Nintendo. So to me, they are doing things differently because they can. They have different audiences, they have different needs, they have different wants especially from the people who are paying for those systems. And so I don't believe they all should have followed the same path because they definitely have different markets that they are catering to. Because to me, we just talked about it. We talked about, and I'll end it here before I get too long winded. I'll end it here. But we see when we talk about the graphic cards and how they're pushing higher graphics, more multi-frame generating, and they're pushing these high-end graphics from the PC space, right? And you have an option to jump into the high ends, or you have an option to, do whatever fits your budget, and the choice is yours, right? And so that high-end graphics and gameplay is also pushed on the PC side. It's not just the console makers, and they're trying to do their best to keep up, but you can never really keep up with the PC because you can't change the graphic cards inside of the systems. For Sony, we have to create a whole new system to do that, and that's what the Pro is. But I don't knock them for that. I think that's their lane, that's their approach. That's a lot of their consumers are consumed by third-party games and only rarely will try those first-party titles. And them giving third party a space to excel and create the game they want to create, to me, is never a bad thing. That, to me, the onus should be on the game developers by choosing to only make certain type of games. And that's why I give kudos to EA for definitely looking at other type of games like It Takes Two, games that doesn't have to push the envelope when it comes to graphics, but can focus on gameplay instead of how many pixels they can fit on the screen. So that's my take.
All right, so my take is, and taking in everything you guys said. Like I said, we just sharing our opinions. I'm gonna say that, in my opinion, yes, Nintendo was right. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't think the question is. And I guess that's where I may be different from UK Bum is. I don't think the question is should Sony and Microsoft follow what Nintendo did. The question is, for me, I guess what I'm taking from the question is, was Nintendo right about the path that Sony and Microsoft was going and where it was going to end? And were they right to not go down that path and focus on their games rather than the tech and the hardware, or the hardware and tech and hardware performance? And I'm going to say, yeah, because, ironically, Iwata predicted this. And I forgot all about this, but Darkwing made me remember. Iwata literally said this, and I pulled it up. And I'm gonna run it here in a second. So my opinion is yes, not that they needed to do what Nintendo did. Sony and Microsoft didn't have to do what Nintendo was doing, but Sony and Microsoft did do what Nintendo said they was going to end up doing, and that is pushing themselves to a place to where they're gonna have more problems trying to keep up with demand and expectations because of what you're using to sell and push people to buy your product was cutting edge. And cutting edge was always going to need to be matched with better cutting edge. And eventually you're going to get to a place where you can't afford cutting edge, and it's going to cause a kickback that's going to cripple you. So I'm going to play this, and then we can finish the conversation. From my angle, from what the question has been asked, I'm going to say yes. Nintendo is right all along to focus on games over hardware performance. Not that Sony needs to follow Nintendo and what they did, but the path that Sony and Microsoft did follow, I believe, paid out like Nintendo said they would. We couldn't see it then, but hindsight 2020, we kind of see it now. So this is Iwata, and this is on Game Explain. I think that's who this is. And so let's listen to what they say. Let me turn it up.
Well, I really don't believe there will be a bright...
Go back. Go back a little bit. All right, here we go. Come on now.
Any of these...
Now, why you want to start acting up now?
Ramping up the surprise factor with their consoles ever since this interview. He was asked how he sees the next generation battle taking place, to which he responds, quote, Well, I really don't believe there will be a bright future waiting for the so-called next-generation consoles that Sony and Microsoft are advocating right now. As you may know, I was developing games until quite recently myself. I know how it is. And if any of these developers come to me and say, look, CPU or processing power is 10 times as much as today, graphic capability is 20 times, then I will say, that means more workload and slight difference with the current system in terms of letting people understand how improved the graphics shall be. So just as we have established with handheld gaming with the DS, just for example, if we cannot change the user interface of the current home console system and let consumers understand we are changing how the games are being played, then I am sorry. But it must be difficult for anyone to persuade people to purchase so-called next-generation consoles.
So, I don't know if basically, he was saying, and he kind of predicting that it's going to get to diminishing returns. And as the people are going to, now he might have wasn't right in the generation he was talking about, but eventually what Iwata was saying came to pass, came to fruition. That eventually going to get to a place to where the customers can't see the difference. And we're there to where it's hard to see the difference, like, between the PlayStation 5 Pro and the PlayStation 5. It's there, but it's hard to see it. And it's not big enough to, compel you even, K-Bum, to go purchase it. We saw the same thing with the PlayStation 5 a little bit, even though we saw the difference, but it's slowly getting to a place to where the return is diminishing, the cost is expensive, the games are expensive, but like you said, it is the developer's choice. They can do the indie titles and they can do that other stuff, but demand and expectation puts pressure on them that feel like they have to compete with the other companies, so they all fall into the trap of, well, we can't be as creative as we used to be, like EA and Ubisoft and all of them was back in the day, because one of these games, if they don't sell well, can cause us to go bankrupt. So we got to go with tried and true, what sells, multiple Call of Duties, multiple Assassin's Creeds, multiple this, multiple that, no variety, no creativity, and now that's been left up to the indie market. And these third-party student major AAA studios and first-party system with Microsoft and Sony are at a point of struggling. So I'm going to say yes, not that they needed to follow Nintendo, but the path that Nintendo was saying wasn't going to work did come to fruition. I would say it from that angle. So I would say yes. Anybody can come behind that.
Yeah, and I just want to say something about the third party. I understand, give them the space, because I know we've heard stories about Sony and Microsoft both going to third party and asking them, what do you need? And then they'll tell them, and then they'll customize and then make their consoles to not only take advantage of what they're trying to do as a first party, but they also try to incorporate what the third party wants as well. Well, I say, even if you listen to them and get an idea of what they need, like RAM is a big one, because the more RAM, the more stuff you can do at a one time. So I think that's a huge one. But I don't think we needed to, and it's just my opinion, I don't think we needed to push it as far as we did so fast. I think where we've gotten was going to be there anyways. But I think the trickle effect or the slower method for them, because we've seen so many studios close, we've seen Microsoft let go so many people just last year, and we're talking about Xbox, and just trying to stay afloat and trying to keep up with the demand of what the gaming is requiring. And I just think that a slower pace would have worked. I think the people who play Call of Duty would have been fine playing Call of Duty on the Wii U the way it looked. Yeah, it would have been better on the PS4 the way it looks, but I think they would have been fine because that's all they would have had. You know what I mean? So the moment you introduce that new Call of Duty with the new pristine graphics and all the other stuff, by the time you're developing that, your development skills have increased. The price to make that game isn't as astronomical as it would have been. So I just think just doubling down on it, I think Nintendo was correct in the approach I think we was like I said, I think we was going to get there anyways, but I just think just getting there slower was going to be, the competition between Microsoft and Sony and Microsoft really pushed them, but you see one of them couldn't keep up really in the games department. So
Yeah, well, K-Bone, go ahead. You got more to say. I don't want to jump in here too quick.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, my thing is this. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be not necessarily fair because I'm not downplaying anything you saying. I'm trying to see through what you saying, K-Bum, with my take. That you're right. I don't think everybody should follow Nintendo's path. So in that sense, I think you're right. You're correct. I agree with you. Because then everybody be the same. But I don't think that's what the question is really getting at. Should everybody follow Nintendo? I don't think that's really the question. I think more of the question is, was the path that Microsoft and Sony was on the better path, or was the path that Nintendo chose to take a better path? And I would say from that angle, I would say yes, even though I personally as a gamer appreciate the ambition and the drive for better and best from Sony and Microsoft. I'm not going to lie. It irked me as a Nintendo fan. I remember, so let me be honest. I remember I had the 360 and the Wii at the same time. I got them at the same time. They was released about a week or two apart. I remember getting my 360. They wasn't released a week or two apart. I got my 360 that summer because it released a year earlier. And I had made my decision between the PlayStation 3 and the price of the PlayStation 3 is what caused me to make my decision in Gears of War. I went on and bought the 360. I got the Elite version with some money I got from a settlement that I had of a lawsuit that I had with a company I worked for. So I bought it. I remember buying Gears. I remember buying no, I didn't buy Gears. I remember buying Need for Speed because Gears wasn't coming out until Zelda and the Wii came out. Gears released like a week prior or a week after the Wii came out. So I had the 360, but Gears was what sold me in the price of the PlayStation 3. And I remember my younger brother waited in line at Target for me to get Nintendo. I worked at P&G at the time, so I was working overnight shifts. And so he stayed in the line for me until I got off work, and I came and replaced him and got my Wii, brought it home. Of course, threw in Zelda, Twilight Princess, and threw in Wii Sports. And I remember getting Gears of War the next week. And I'm not going to even front, Keith. I ain't even want to look at my Wii no more. I didn't. So to what K-Bum's saying, I liked what Microsoft and Sony was doing, and I appreciate it. But it did get to a place to where even they couldn't live up to their promise. Matter of fact, Sony had to take 8K off the box. They had to take 8K off the box.
They were tripping.
I know, and this is what I mean.
They made promises that they couldn't keep,
right,
and they were tripping.
Right, 60 frames. We even struggling now. If you go to ray tracing, unless you get the hybrid, where it's a kind of a blend between ray tracing and performance, you might get I guess not a stable 60 frames, but you get a. You know how it'll fluctuate, whatever that they call that technique, where depending on what's been shown, it can fluctuate in the
variable refresh rate.
Variable refresh rate. So even now,
or dynamic.
Okay, but even now,
dynamic resolution.
Well, VRR is the variable refresh rate. So that's the VRR that takes the frame rate from like 40 to 60 or whatever. That's the VRR that's on TV. The other piece is what Keith's saying. It's a little bit different.
Okay.
Resolution.
But y'all get what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm getting at. So we ain't gonna get too. My point is, they are still struggling now to do the very thing that they sell and pitch and tell you is why you need to get this device, because we can do this, we can do this. They've been pitching 60 frames since PlayStation 3?
I'm not sure.
We know they did with PlayStation 3. We know they did with the PlayStation 4.
Yes.
And they still struggling to do it with the PlayStation 5, which is why we got the PlayStation 5 Pro. So the point is, what they sell and what they tell us and what they get you to buy, then the developers, like you said, don't have to. But again, if you want to compete, if you want to be relevant in this market, in with the EAs and the Ubisofts and the Take-Twos and the CD Projekt CD Red or CD Projekt Red, however you say it, all those studios have to compete with one another. And if the bells and the whistles is what they do, then I have to do that. While Nintendo is over here enjoying just making their games that they always make on dated hardware. It's a fair argument. I'm not saying you're wrong, though.
No. I want to take here a quick take, and then we can end it on here. Or this be my last take. I will 100% agree with you that these game companies have overpromised and underdelivered. 100%. Sony has, because they have to get you to buy the next box. Xbox talked about they created the most powerful console ever, and all it does is play Game Pass. Right?
I'm sorry.
Darkwing, I'm gonna explain what I mean when I said I didn't want to touch mine. You're right, but I'm gonna explain. I just wanted to be honest. It took me a while to make that adjustment. Let me say this real K-Bomb.
Okay.
Zelda was my game. Zelda Twilight Princess was my game, but I'm not gonna lie. I had an HD TV at that time. I bought one for my 360. It took me a minute to be what you said. It wasn't no easy jump back and forth. When you put Gears in, and then you jump back to the Wii, you saw them jackies. You saw them squares and triangles, and I was like, golly. But the gameplay always won me over. So you were right, but I had to be honest. It was absolutely extremely noticeable how much of an improvement Gears and the 360 was over the Wii. But go ahead, K-Bomb.
So this will be my closing argument. And so, again, Nintendo made the right decision. I think for where they were, what they were trying to do, they made the right decision. But I would be remiss if I don't mention that on this podcast, I have heard many occasions where my castmates would say, "I'm not playing that game on the Switch."
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking what anything you say.
Super facts.
Many of times where they say, "Yeah, that's fun,"
Still to
but
this
I ain't
day,
playing it on the Switch.
To this day, I'm not playing stuff on the Switch.
Super facts.
I'm not playing it on the Switch. So I get it, and this is why I tailor with. I do believe they made the right choice. I do believe this is the right choice for them. I do believe that playing in this zone is perfect for them, and I think they're going to excel. They're going to continue to excel. I think Nintendo has a long history in front of them. They're not going to be third party. They're not Sega. They know what they're doing. Leave it in Nintendo hands. They're going to get it right. But I'm not on the boat to say Sony's making the wrong decision by pushing all this graphics. I believe that Sony needs to stop lying and be realistic. I think Xbox needs to stop lying and being realistic, but I don't see the push for power as the negative thing. I believe the lying about what it can do is the negative thing. Because like I said before, we definitely looked at it and said, that's awesome. I want to play that game, but I do not want to play on a device that made the right decision for their future. I want to play it on devices that made the wrong decision, but it looks better. Just want to put it out there, and I'll end my statement.
You're right. I'll go ahead, Keith.
I gotta address the. I'm not playing it on the Switch. Well, that's because the PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series X does exist. So I'm basing it on what exists. If those consoles didn't exist like that, and it was just a Switch, and there was something out there just a little bit above the Switch, then those games wouldn't be developed that way. But nah, I ain't playing it on the Switch. If I can play it somewhere else, you're absolutely right.
This is where I think things went left. Everything K-Bomb said is right. And that's why I had to be honest even when I was talking about my 360 experience. I couldn't deny that as much as I love Nintendo games and I love the gameplay, I couldn't deny that visually I was just impressed with what I was seeing with Gears and other games, and then Uncharted 2 was the final straw. Like, no, Nintendo, I need something more than the Wii. The Wii U was fine, but I think another place where Sony, in particular Sony, and I say Xbox too, the Pro systems is where they really start screwing up, because the Pro made everything that they do need to be rushed to the next thing, because the Pro to the 5 kind of hurt the 5. And then, so now we need a Pro for the 5 because, and it's like, it's that. It's like,
I agree.
That's what I think I'm saying is, it's not that the power wasn't the problem, it's the constant using power to sell.
Well, using power to make up for the lies you made for the previous generation.
Right. And it's
That's
like,
what it is.
right.
The Pro is a resolution to the lies that you already made.
Right.
That
There you
the
go.
base model was supposed to be able to do. I agree with that.
So you got to keep on, and it's like, and it's throwing everything into a frenzy and off, because you promising stuff you can't make it. Then you got to make the system that now, okay, so what we promised couldn't be done on the system we told you it could be done on, but it could be done on this Pro system, but you got to give us $100 more. Okay, well, we promised what we said on the Pro system, but we can't get it. So now we got the actual new system. It's the new PlayStation, the new Xbox. Okay.
No, this one can really do it.
This one can really do it. Now, well,
and all this other stuff we about to lie to you about.
Right. Well, now we can't do it because we need, so now we got a Pro and we take the 8. It's like, this is what's hurting. And it's like, so if y'all wouldn't have had these Pro systems, we would probably be where PlayStation 4 Pro is now, or the leaps that we're getting will be in time with PC. Like, we're literally,
the leaps will feel better. The leaps will feel like leaps.
Yeah, we're not seeing the leaps no more. And like right now with the PlayStation 5 Pro, and we argue this, it's gonna hurt the PlayStation 5 6. Because you've already shown us some of the leap we would get with the next thing if you didn't give us that middle thing. So from that angle, I'm going to say that's where they screwing up. Not the power chase, the constant using power to sell and keep yourself relevant rather than using your games and making greater games. Because Nintendo going to squeeze every drop out of their device. We clearly see it. The Switch is 8 years old. They steady squeezing every morsel out of that thing. If Sony and Microsoft would do that, them systems probably could last a lot longer. The PlayStation 4 could have went longer. PlayStation 4 gave us Ghost of Tsushima. And Ghost looks amazing. Now, it looks amazing. It looks better than some games we have on the PlayStation 5.
Agree. The PlayStation 4 was struggling.
It was,
especially with the online component. It was struggling, but developers get better. They get better over time.
Yeah,
and that's how you find more creative solutions. Is having limits allows people to find more creative solutions instead of just giving them more power. So I agree with that.
And it seemed like if they would have found ways to, instead of throwing as much assets and just making you have games that's 110 gigabytes, practice on what Nintendo do. Some kind of way Nintendo is able to shrink that stuff down to have like games that shouldn't, like Zelda should be way more than 20 gigabytes. But that's what it is, because they got some way of how they do that, Keith, where they compress stuff. They got a way of compressing things. Sony and Microsoft should force third party to do that type of stuff.
Sony actually did have a technology to allow them to do a higher resolution with lower file size. So actually, when they moved the PS5, the file size decreased.
Okay, cool.
That was one of the features they talked about, and it was due to the power of the new SSDs.
SSD. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, just an interesting talk. Like I said, as I said on it, I was like, when you kept saying they shouldn't follow Nintendo, I'm like, no, I don't want them to follow Nintendo because then we'll be where Nintendo is currently. And I don't think that's where we need to be. I think the industry demands a little. Nintendo can actually, I think they're starting to realize they need to bump it up with this new system. But I believe, like Keith said, we did get here with Sony and Microsoft a little faster than we should have, to where they struggling to figure out what do we do next because we constantly hitting the wall. we hit the wall every time we bring a new system. We hit the wall immediately. We open the door. When Nintendo does, and the more Sony hits the wall, the more space they give Nintendo to just work with what y'all just had and just show people, hey, it's a lot more here that you can enjoy. You just didn't know it because they rush to the next thing. They're still, you can still do a lot with, what is it, Unreal 4 and Unreal 3.
Mm-hmm.
That type of stuff we had Unreal 5 and probably haven't even maxed out what you could do with Unreal 4 or even Unreal 3. There's games on Unreal 3 that we have yet to see that the demos that they showed to show the tech and the capability of Unreal 3. We still haven't got games that look like them tech demos from Unreal 3. We just now getting games that look like that. And we at Unreal 5. So it's that. It's like
Darkwing. The reason why the Witcher 3 is 17 gigabytes on the Switch and 60 gigabytes on the PlayStation is because they used Vaseline on the Witcher 3 on the Switch, and we all know Vaseline is less gigabytes than cocoa butter, and so that's the reason why. The Witcher. Well, you have to understand, Dark Wing Dragon, that they're using 4K access on the PlayStation, so it's going to be bigger because it's 4K access. So you have to understand that there's lower resolution on the.
I think he understands. He probably just wasn't factoring that in at the time. So
Yeah, he said explain it to him, which I just wanted to help him a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, you got textures, extra packs.
Yeah, that Vaseline is much lower gigabytes.
I remember the first time I ever experienced that was it was on the 360 with Battlefield. I think it was Battlefield 3. And it was like you can download the HD textures and stuff like that. I was like, heck yeah. I don't want to play it any other way.
All right. So
That's funny.
not to run real quick, K-Bum. Give you 10 minutes, man. So give us your rant with the PSN going down and the explanation.
My biggest issue isn't that the PS5 network went down. That's not my issue. So like as I explained already, the PS5 went down. That is not my problem. My problem is the fact that they still haven't stated what happened. Did we get hacked? Was there a DOS attack? Did a server go down? Was it the cloud? They still haven't said that. And I'm sorry, was 5 more days of the PSN network added to your account.
I'm pulling it up now. So
that made me so like that is a kick in the not even a month.
Games too? Then they asked for games?
No, they didn't give you no game.
So
they gave you 5 days extra.
Sony says,
congratulations.
Sony apology for the 24-hour outage and thank the PlayStation community for its patience as a make good is giving all PlayStation Plus members an additional 5 days of service. Which, I mean, is that unfair? You was only out a day?
That is not. I'm sorry.
5 days versus a day?
That's like getting your wife to say I'm sorry and getting her 2 roses. Here, babe, I got you 2 roses. You better get half a dozen.
So
we'll come home with no 2 roses.
What would made the outage?
A month.
Okay, a month. All right.
A month. A month would have been okay. We're sorry. Here's a month of access. Here's 5. What is 5 days to a year subscription? That's whack, bro. That's weak sauce. I don't care what you say to me. I know it wasn't down 5 days, and so that is not an apology. That 5 days? Nah, man. Nah. I'm sorry.
So-
That is what ticked me off. I want to talk about that. I'm upset. I think it's bogus. I think it's crap. 5 days is a slap in the face. You should have gave a month. I think that'd have been reasonable to your subscribers for the outage, especially on a weekend, bro. On a weekend. Anyway.
Okay, all right. Keith, you got anything to add to that, man? Are you done?
No, that didn't affect me at all. So I had to say it. I hate to say it like that. You know, I'm supposed to be like that. It's not my problem. But I was so oblivious to it. So I don't know the pain and the struggle that K-Bum and the others felt. Because one, if I wanted to play a video game, I could have on the PC. Two, I was too busy to play a video game anyways. I just sat back and read Twitter. But I'm glad they got it back up. I agree with K-Bum that they should have did more with giving something to the fans, the people that's paying for this service that was inconveniently taken down for a whole 24 hours. You know what I mean? On a weekend. So I definitely agree with him on that. But yeah, it didn't affect me personally, but for those that, you know, it affected, man, I'm glad they got it back up for y'all, man, so y'all can keep playing, you know, Marvel Rivals.
I want to read what the Artisan 2 said. Monster Hunter Wild, if coming to the Switch 2, all that interests me. In the meantime, I'll take Metro Prime 4 Beyond over anything or over everything shown off in that state of play. I agree with that. Maybe not. Yeah, I agree with that. I can't deny that. I want to play this real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. I don't know how many people been keeping up, but there seems to be a Mega Man series or movie.
No.
Is it fake?
No, it's real. I think it's a part of a bigger show, though.
Amazon has a series called Next Level or Secret Level.
Secret Level, that's what it is.
Yeah, and they have several video games that they've turned into like these quick
Cinematic movies.
Yes, cinematic movies. Yes.
Okay, well, I want to show this because this man.
I hate that helmet.
I do, but brother, you should have been got a Mega Man 3D Mega Man. But this really shows.
We do.
No,
Mega Man Legends.
No, Keith, no, not that. I'm talking about like Ratchet and Clank. This is. Let me play this, man. Y'all watch.
Dr. Light!
This looks so weird, though.
Dr. Light! Hey,
Fair use, anyway.
It's one of Wily's.
Fair use.
It's going for the cerebral controller.
This is how the game should look, man. This should be a game. And if Capcom can't see this, they idiots. Ain't it crazy that games have gotten this good that it looks like a movie looks like a game now?
Yeah. That makes me happy.
This looks so freaking dope to me.
Sorry.
I stumbled up on this yesterday and I was like, man, where does this come from? What is this?
No!
Keith, could you see yourself playing this if this was a game?
I'm sorry.
Not with that helmet.
Doc.
Come on, bro. What's wrong with the helmet?
That helmet is weird, man. I don't like it. But could I see me playing a 3D Mega Man game like this? Yeah. But like I said, they could just remaster. They don't have to retool it, but they could just really remaster Legends. Legends is fire. Probably would be fire today in 2025 though.
This part right here is what I saw first. I didn't see the whole thing. I saw a clip of this. I would say the helmet doesn't look like the helmet that we used to. It ain't bothered me too bad.
It didn't bother me. I was like, what is this?
Hey, kid.
It ain't bothered me too bad. It looks kind of like the partner's helmet. What's the red dude?
Proto Man.
It looked like Proto Man's helmet.
That's impossible.
So all these are
Doesn't matter
PlayStation
what I made you for.
games. They turned into miniseries.
No, they're not PlayStation games. They're just video
This
games.
is
They
what you
turned
were
to,
meant for.
Because I saw that the Kung Fu, what's the Kung Fu game? That Shifu? They got Shifu as one.
I'm about to check it out. I haven't checked it out yet. I gotta check it out. I know they have like a God of War one and stuff like that too.
Yeah, man. That looks dope. Anyway. Well, that was the podcast for tonight. And we ain't gonna be going no 2 hours and 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 2 minutes more time.
Man, they still hear those, bro.
I know, but I can't. I want to stay married. So, we gonna have to get back to an hour and 30, hour and 40. It's just been so much. We've been having some good conversation, man, that we've been here. But we gonna have to cut this last hour off at least the next few times, so I don't get in too much more trouble. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys sign out. Who wanna go first? K-Mo, go ahead and sign out, man.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Thank you guys for staying with us for this extra large edition pause version of the podcast. Appreciate it. Not feeling on the weather, but you guys help your boy feel a little bit better, so I appreciate that. Enjoy the conversations, enjoy the back and forth, and some of the insight, especially on from the Nintendo head and kind of his perspective. I thought that was pretty cool to give that as well. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good podcast. I thought we had some great topics, and I thought we went through it really well, and you guys kept us honest in the comment section, so I appreciate that. Until next time.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Norris.
Yeah, it was a good podcast. Got a chance to check out some of those PlayStation games and give our take on it, as everybody around the industry and YouTube have given their perspectives and things. We actually gave Microsoft some credit and said that we like their format. I agree with the fellas. I didn't say it at the time, but I do agree that they do a really good job. Shout out to everybody in the comment section coming through, sticking with us for 2 hours. We appreciate it. And until next time, hopefully we get some more Metroid Prime. Who was that? Artesian? Is that how you say his name? The Artesian 2. We get some more Metroid Prime. Hopefully we get some more soon, so we can, get our popcorn and eat up, watch some Metroid.
Man, this beat go hard, man. I need to make some of this. Yeah, I'm screaming old school, bump your new rules. Textbook, I'll school you. Treat me like I was washed up. Now you looking like ooh. About mine like I'm foo-foo. About Christ, what it been do. Box you in with these bars, boy. Wrap you up like a spin dude. See, I was minding my own, relaxing at home, chilling on silent. But y'all thought it was wise to poke at the bear and wake up the giant. Now I'm feet firm on your track. For my Christ, I go black. Anyway, let me stop. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Come on. Who else is in here? Chad, man, Video Game Her, Alan Steed, Darkwing Dragon. Good comments, bro. You was really hitting it on tonight. Who else in here? Chariot Man, we need a little bit more of them details, man. That tech info, you ain't giving it to us. Give us that tech info. You got the Rogue Ally, you got the Steam Deck. Let us know what's up. Anyway, who else is in here? Matt Jazz, man, good comments on the night, bro. You was really lit in the comment section. Who else? Somebody showed up late, too. Alan Steed, I said your name already. Here it is. The Artisan, man, good comment. Thank all you guys for tuning in tonight. This is the Live and Level Gamer podcast. Till next time, y'all be blessed and safe. Deuces.
But we got smashed, bro.